It's another hauntingly spooky night at Davidson Field as the fog rolls in and the lights flicker for this Bravo League brawl. The final homestand for the Sailors here in the regular season. Tonight, the gray and navy blue take the field one last time before November's chill sets in, hoping to give the Harbor faithful something to howl about this evening. The Villa Park Spartans have stormed into town for this All Hallows Eve showdown, and the question on everyone's mind, will it be a trick or a treat here under the Davidson Field lights? Live from Newport Harbor on Tar TV Sports, I'm Justin Lee alongside Taryn Rodriguez, coming to you on this eerie October night. We'll be joined shortly by Ivania Gonzalez. Tonight isn't just about records, it's about pride, redemption, and one last roar for the seniors before the postseason creeps in. So Taryn, let me ask you, as the moon rises over Newport, what might be lurking in the minds of both teams as they brace for this spooky season finale?
There's going to be some tricks and some treats in this game. We'll start off with the tricks, with it being both teams' records. Despite both these teams being below 500, they are talented on both ends of the ball. In addition, both teams have playoffs on their mind despite having to apply as an at-large team and not being able to finish in the top 3 in the Bravo League. Now let's get into the treats. Both teams have great quarterbacks as Matthew Smith, transferring in from Loyola High School over the summer, has taken the QB1 spot and ran with it. Meanwhile, for Newport Harbor, they have 2 serviceable quarterbacks of their own in Jake Meir and Jordan Spigarelli. We got to see Meir last week against Yorba Linda after not playing against Corona Del Mar and San Juan Hills due to injury, and he was solid. A treat for Newport Harbor for tonight is that they'll be seeing the future for next year. Spigarelli getting in reps against quality teams will help him for next year, as he's most likely going to be the QB1 barring anything drastic. He'll have players such as Shane McKibben, Ryan Palmer, Connor Merrick, and Wyatt Wilson to throw to. Well,
as it stands for the moment, this is a bottom-of-the-barrel type matchup with these two squads sitting at the last spots of the Bravo League, but sometimes what you might find may surprise anyone and turn into a high-quality fist fight. The 4-5 Villa Park Spartans have had their highs and lows, much like the 2-7 Sailors, with both sides clutching on to hope that they will have a chance at the CIF playoffs come November. With that being said, what kind of circumstances are on the table for both sides here tonight, Taryn?
If Villa Park wins, they will get to 5-5, which is the magic number since you'll be finishing with a winning record. Villa Park's non-league foes include Carson, who will play San Pedro for a league title, Western, who is guaranteed a 500 record, Upland, who has unfortunately seen better days, and Ayala, who has had a tough year, and we can't forget Miracosta, who's having a great year. If Newport Harbor wins, that aids their chances of making the playoffs as they've faced some challenging and stout opponents this year. Their non-league schedule consists of Murrieta Mesa, who has clinched at least a share of the Big West lower league title, Lancaster, who has clinched at least a share of the Golden League title, El Medina, who could be on the verge of finishing in the top 3 in the Delta League, Cajon, who has clinched at least a share of the Citrus Belt League title, and Colony, who has had a tough go in the Sierra League.
Ivania Gonzalez is down on the field to talk about the atmosphere here tonight. Let's send it down to Ivania. How are things looking down on the field, Ivania?
Thank you, Justin and Taryn. It's a spooky night here at Newport Harbor as the Sailors get ready to charge onto the field, and the target is louder than ever for this Halloween week match-off. The energy is electric under these Thursday night lights. With Halloween just around the corner, Newport Harbor is hoping to scare up a big win tonight. You can feel the excitement building as the Sailors look to make this Halloween weekend to remember. Back to you, Justin and Taryn.
Some might think Villa Park could win easy, but the most dangerous bear is a wounded bear, and that's what Newport Harbor is. The Sailors are hungry and determined to get their first league win, and they don't want to be on the wrong side of history, as the last time the Sailors went winless in the league was 2018.
Here, taking a look at since the beginning of the season, one name has marked the stat sheet consistently and has been the #1 target for Jake Meir under center. Shane McKibben had been that solid option for this Tar offense before taking a step back with that hand injury. With the junior being out the last few weeks, the offense has had to find a new #1 target to fill that spot. Jackson Stremick seemed like that spark last week with a touchdown reception, and up until this point has produced similar numbers in replacement. Stremick with 30 receptions this season, 403 yards, averaging 13 per catch. Palmer with 28 receptions in a short couple of weeks, 343 yards and 12 yards on average per reception. The best part about both of them as an option, Taryn, is that they're just in their junior years. There's still a lot on the table for what this core may look like next year. But up until this point, what have you thought about them individually?
Well, what I thought about them is that they've both been solid. It's been a tough for McKibben as of late, as you said. Something to know about both these receivers that they play both sides of the ball, and that's not an easy thing to do because 1 minute you're trying to catch the ball from your quarterback to try to score, and the next minute you're on defense trying to make a play to prevent the other team from scoring.
Villa Park has had consistency issues in the pass game this season. Their QBs have thrown for 5 picks with only 8 touchdowns in the air. The task for Newport will be to force the Spartans to throw and get turnovers when they can. It's been a while since we've seen one here at Davidson Field. That could change in this game tonight. Taryn, what does Newport need to do to earn a treat rather than a trick this evening?
They need to stop the run and run the ball well themselves. As the old saying goes, he who runs the ball best shall have success. Newport Harbor has not done a good job of stopping the opponent's run and establishing the run themselves. Another key is that their offense just doesn't look as flashy as it was in non-league play. In non-league play, Newport Harbor was averaging 33.2 points per game, but ever since they've been in league play, they're only averaging 11 points per game. I expect the Sailors to go for it all tonight and maybe run some trick plays and fake punts to give their seniors one final regular season win at home.
We'll be looking forward to much of that here in the finale of the regular season on the eve of Halloween night here on TAR TV Sports. Villa Park, Newport Harbor. Nothing left to lose for both sides. All of it to come in just a few. Welcome back here to Davidson Field and TAR TV Sports. We're about to get going under this spooky and eerie night. Justin Lee alongside Taryn Rodriguez for all of you in the season finale of high school football here for Newport Harbor High School. Villa Park coming into this stadium tonight, and look at both sides and what they've kind of had to go through. Newport Harbor non-league has had arguably one of the tougher non-leagues on the schedule this season, including Villa Park. They've had their issues as well throughout much of this season. Both sides tonight, Newport Harbor averaging 21.8 points per game, while Villa Park is averaging right around the same as with 22 points per game. So a lot of folks thinking that this might not be a big game, but it will be likely even Steven here tonight, Taryn.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game for both of these teams. I mean, not a lot in terms of possible like flashiness, and this isn't really the most flashy and eye-popping game, but this is definitely a fun game. A lot of pride. Both of these teams want to represent their school well. I think for Villa Park, they got a lot to play for, but for Newport Harbor, they just have to play loose, relaxed, and free. And they have to play a full 4 quarters, like I always mention. No more playing half a game or 3/4 of a game. Got to go hard all 4 quarters, no excuses.
The day before Halloween tonight, there's a lot of costumes in the building here at Davidson Field, including the cheerleading squad, the marching band, who we'll see later on. We'll kind of see what we've got in the stands. Maybe do a little costume competition up here on Tower TV Sports later on. But looks like Newport will be kicking away to Villa Park, who will receive the start here in this game tonight. And not to mention the atmosphere, a little bit turned up here. We haven't seen a marching band from the away side in a minute. Villa Park has their here tonight, and so they'll be blaring music throughout the entirety of this game here at Davidson Field. The finale just about to get underway here on Tar TV Sports. Thanks for joining us here on this Thursday evening, the day before the spooks and creeps settle in. Daniel Uncle Rico, kickoff man as always, will send it away. It's a high kick, and we're off here at Davidson Field as Lovey Clark takes the ball for the return. Still up on his feet and finally brought down about the 20-yard line. And Villa Park will bring out their offensive start here tonight. The Spartans under center. We talked about the quarterback situation a little bit and what that has looked like. They started the season with Vinny Lagata, a.k.a. Vincenzo, before Matt Smith, a.k.a. the White Dove, who came in here from Loyola, like you mentioned, Taryn. 5-game block, just like Spigarelli, but has pretty much won the quarterback job as a junior.
Yeah, he's done an excellent job as of late. I mean, it doesn't really show in the wins and losses, but he's provided a spark for this team.
There's a carry here on the handoff. Stop by Marcella on the first down run. And it's just a short gain there. So we were expecting Matt Smith, but looks like Jacob Tichenal is into the game. 6'4", 205 pounds, is a freshman on the field right now instead of what we expected to be Matt Smith, but now it looks like they have Vinny Lagata back in at quarterback, so they are really kind of switching things up here on us. Lagata takes it, small carry, not much running room as he's met by Baranowski for a short gain. For much of the season, he's kind of been the running back, kind of that dual threat as well through much, but has struggled on the passing game like we talked about in the pre-show.
I think this is kind of a chess versus checkers thing. I think Coach Dan Anzich is playing some mind games here, and that's kind of what you want to do against an opponent on the road.
Now he's got the freshman back at shotgun for this third down, 4 yards away from the sticks. He's going to throw and push down from behind by Garrido. He was not looking at the ball, and there goes the flags.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact there. I mean, if it's not going to be holding, it's going to be pass interference or vice versa. And yeah, I can see he's frustrated, but he was literally gripped on to him as they were running. So that's clearly PI, as we see on the replay.
A lot of contact right there. You see that left arm wrapped around Big Ben Hanna as he was brought down by Luke Garrido. So that will give an automatic first down yardage for Villa Park. We'll come in here 1-3 in league, 4-5 overall this season. First down for the Spartans. They have Vincenzo back in there. He will take it. Another right up that same gap he did on that first run. And he gets through for about 8 yards on that run.
Yeah, Villa Park's kind of digging in their bag of tricks here, and that's something I really want to expect from Newport Harbor here as well, just because this isn't anything that we were thinking about seeing. But again, this is Villa Park wanting to do everything in its power to get the win. They don't want to leave anything up to chance in terms of being 4-6.
So second down and about a yard. It's a handoff to the back. Gets through a small hole before being dragged down, but not after getting the first down and a lot more on that gain.
Yeah, that's something Newport Harbor needs to do. They got to stop the run ASAP. I mean, it's kind of been a replay of practically every game in the Bravo League, and they just got to have an answer for the run.
This was a big issue the last few weeks. This Harbor team has been dealt the tough hand of injuries through this late part of the season. As they hand off once again to Knuckles Coy Collins as he gets up for about 4 yards on the first down run. Spartans meanwhile have a freshman quarterback back in there at that position. 6'4" for a freshman is not usual for somebody at that age, let alone at the quarterback position, but somebody to look forward to for the Villa Park in the next 4 years as they hand off to Collins here again. He is immediately met at the line, and Newport Harbor, just like the beginning of this series, starting to stop that run game just a tad bit. Jagger Danoon on the tackle.
Yeah, it's good to see that Jagger Danoon's finally getting involved in terms of the defense. We haven't really called his name a whole lot. I think he's having to play both sides of the ball, but that's someone I really need to see step up tonight. And it's kind of looking like a little like Yorba Linda from last year, or last week.
There they go. It's pulled by Vincenzo and immediately met before he could go anywhere. Adam Chani, good to see him back there for Newport. Brings up fourth down.
It's a good play right there. Villa Park tried to fool Newport Harbor, but Newport Harbor did not bite. So this is an interesting spot. I mean, does Villa Park go for it? Because they've ran the ball 3 straight times. Do they want to be predictable? Do they want to roll the dice here and try to catch Newport Harbor off sides? Do they want to run the ball?
Villa Park has averaged 5.9 yards on the ground as they step back here. Tidge runs out. Marcella in pursuit. And coverage there by Chani as well. The pass is incomplete. A turnover on downs, and something we have not seen from Newport Harbor in a minute. Forcing a turnover and disallowing the first score of the first drive against their opponent.
And that's big right there for Newport Harbor. That is a massive win for their defense. Got to get them a little bit, they got to get confidence going forward, and that'll give them some breathing room as the offense takes over. As we see the professor out there.
This was something we thought last week was going to be a little bit different with Jake Meir being back. He was back, but he didn't come into the game for at least 3 to 4 drives of the game against Yorba Linda. Spigarelli now starting once again for Newport Harbor since taking over at the Battle of the Bay. Takes the first snap. He is throwing to Stremick down on the screen and met by a sea of Spartans. And it's a gain of about 2.
Yeah, got to get the offense flowing here. I mean, I want to see what Ryan Palmer can do. I think he definitely has a lot of upside and whatnot. And does not look like we are seeing McKibben, which is a bummer.
Does not look like his jersey's out there at the moment. It is Palmer, Ty Ditto, who had a touchdown reception against San Juan Hills, and Baranowski back at the running back spot. We haven't seen him behind that spot in a minute. Here on second down, they do give it to number 19. A small gain there, just about a yard on the power run to bring up third down.
Yeah, it's 1 yard right there. This will be a third and medium for Newport Harbor. I really want them to dig deep in their playbook and maybe, again, show us some trick plays. Go for broke. I mean, you don't have much to lose, and honestly, Newport Harbor's a wounded bear.
Newport Harbor has all of their original starters on offense at the wide receiver spots, minus McKibben, and replaced by Ty Ditto. Yamakawa is back at the running back spot. 4 wide receivers on 3rd down and 7. Looking for the sticks. There is a blitz. Spigarelli steps in, throws up, and just missed out of the hands of Wyatt Wilson. That would have been a huge gain.
Yeah, that would have been a massive play right there. But you mentioned the blitz. Yeah, that defender was coming for it all when it came to tackling Jordan Spigarelli. And Spigarelli was fortunate enough to get that out of his hands before he had to eat the sack. So it's a 3 and out, and it's a tough way to go out for Newport Harbor after their defense worked to get the turnover on down. So.
And here's the cool thing about having a veteran quarterback back there as Spigarelli went to the sidelines. We saw Jake Meir come immediately right up to him to kind of discuss what's going on there. And I'm sure Meir had a few words to exchange and give some advice to the young quarterback who will be most likely taking the QB1 spot next year. As Rico puts it down, Newport bounds right up to the 30-yard line. Pretty good spot for his first punt of the day. So both sides not able to get some points on the board on either of their first drives. It will be first down for Villa Park coming up. This Villa Park team coming off of that loss against San Juan Hills last week. But here's the interesting thing. Newport Harbor lost to this Stallions at 47. The other interesting thing was with the final debate, 21 points. Villa Park holds CDM to a low number of points as well as they hand off on the first down yardage. Pretty good gain there out of Coy Collins on the first down carry.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing about that. I just feel you got to remember that the Villa Park CDM game was a short week for CDM, and they barely had enough time to lick their wounds and catch their breath. For Newport Harbor, they had a little bit of a long week when they played CDM, and honestly, it shows that rivalry games can basically go either way, and that's why I got to throw out the record. So.
The second down is the freshman quarterback Titch. Right there as he tosses down the screen to Lagata, who runs out of bounds and pushed out of play by Chani. It is enough for first down and more. So a bit of a different role here for the quarterback who started for Villa Park at the beginning of the season. More like a Wildcat, Taysom Hill type of role right now.
Yeah, this is something we really haven't seen a whole lot, and this is quite fascinating for Villa Park. I think they're trying to catch Newport Harbor off guard and trying to shuffle their minds, but I think Newport Harbor is battling for the most part, making sure they don't get bit on any trick plays. So we just got to see what Villa Park has going forward.
First down play, handoff. Good run, brought up, helmet falls off of Knuckles as he's tackled by Ethan Ambat. And it's enough for about 9 yards, so Villa Park starting to get into a rhythm with the run game a little bit more, but Collins is going to have to come off for at least one play with the helmet coming off.
Yeah, so far he's got 40 rushing yards, and that's pretty impressive for him. It shows that Villa Park is dedicating themselves to the run, and Villa Park did their homework. They obviously must have seen the film from Yorba Linda, Newport Harbor, and some of the other games.
The running back replacing Knuckles is Maverick DeClark, a.k.a. Mavi Patty, as they hand off. He has enough for a first down before the Sailors can get to him in time. Brought down by Bill Hancock. There's another first down conversion for the Spartans.
Yeah, Villa Park's starting to stack these first downs up rather nicely. And again, they're dedicating themselves to the run. It also helps bleed some clock and control time of possession, which is also so crucial for Villa Park. Kind of like Yorba Linda did last week.
Newport Harbor, over the course of 9 games, 154 yards on the ground given up. They're averaging just the same as Villa Park is putting up on average per rush, 5.9 yards as they hand off to Knuckles. Got through the first initial contact, but then finally brought down by Trevor Glynn. It will be a short gain right there, right up 5 yards away from the sticks now.
Yeah, nice running right there. A nice tackle by Glynn. I just think for Villa Park, they're really starting to up their run game, and it's sure to increase, and they're trying to wear Newport Harbor's defense down. Newport Harbor's run defense and the defense overall has to make sure they're on their A game, as something I am seeing now is McKibben is on defense.
Gibbon took over just a few weeks ago, and there's a toss as it's a broken cover to Lovey Clark. He will step all alone into the end zone. Touchdown, Spartans.
Yeah, that was an interesting play right there as Clark, a.k.a. Superman, Clark Kent, was able to shake his defender loose and get the score on that one. That is just something you just cannot do if you're Newport Harbor.
Looks like he lost Ethan Ambat in coverage, who tripped down on the play. Villa Park still has their offense on the field, looking like they're going to go for 2 potentially.
We saw this against Edison when they played Los Alamitos at SoFi.
So they do reset, bring it back to the field goal spot to kick away. Get the extra point on the board. Low snap, kick is up. Good kick. And it is good by Dalton Lang, a.k.a. GK, to put 7 up for the Spartans. So they strike first on their second drive of the game.
Yeah, that was going to be a big point of who's going to take over from the kicking position, because Nate Lewis, who drilled a 52-yarder when he was at Villa Park last year, he was a phenomenal special talent. He was also the quarterback, so that was kind of my area of concern right there for Villa Park. Who is going to take over for Nate Lewis, because he was kind of the do-it-all guy.
So Lovey Clark gets his 5th touchdown of the season on that reception. Good enough for about 30 yards to the end zone. And Newport will have to try to bounce back here. So the earlier point with Villa Park playing against CDM, including Newport in the Battle of the Bay, is that both the teams limited CDM to their lowest point totals, 21 in all. Villa Park is also, by the way, lining up for what looks like to be an onside kick. It's a short kick, and it will go all the way out of bounds.
That's a really odd strategy right there for Villa Park in terms of their special teams. They must be really trying to throw Newport Harbor off its game or confusing them for some reason.
Villa Park really has not been Newport Harbor's rivals for some time, but in the Bravo League, obviously, they are league rivals. Villa Park has that sign on the other side tonight. It says, "Rest in defeat." So some shade thrown into the Newport Harbor Tars coming here at Davidson Field.
Yeah, last time I remember, well, before Bravo League, last time these two teams squared off was the 2012 quarterfinals, where Villa Park edged out the win over the Sailors. It was a road game, and it was a tough one because Newport Harbor had themselves quite the year that year.
First down for Spigarelli. Brings it down. Not really much to get through with Ryan Palmer on the reception. Looks like a short screen pass brings up about a yard on that gain. Second down and 9.
Yeah, Newport Harbor's offense is really going to have to answer the bell here. Like I said, they have yet to crack 20 points. They're averaging only 11 points per game in league, and that is something that just cannot happen.
Newport Harbor bringing back out Baranowski. We've also got Chani at the fullback spot for what looks to be a heavy run here coming up in just a second. Second and 9, Newport needing to get a drive going here to answer back 7 points. Hand off to Baranowski, goes right up the middle, breaks one, gets through, and brought down by Villa Park for a good gain of about 8 yards. Bring it up 1 yard short of the sticks, or less.
Looks like the official spot is 6 yards.
Maybe not the most generous spot. Thought he dove forward for at least 2 extra yards, but the rest bring it right there. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Third and manageable regardless, and we'll see what Newport Harbor wants to do. I mean, I kind of would want to see Spigarelli keep this one. Keep this one, take off, get the first down himself.
Spigarelli looking for someone. He takes a shot downfield, and great coverage by Lovey Clark. There was a little bit of contact, but no flag. And another very interesting 3rd down play. They go deep twice and miss on both opportunities.
Well, fortunately for Villa Park, the defender didn't have too much contact on the receiver, and he kind of got a hand on the ball. So that's probably what didn't prompt pass interference.
Couple of interesting play calls on third down, so Newport will punt away again to Villa Park. Nearly blocked with the line getting through. It's a low punt. It takes a Newport roll. Park will back up, and it will roll all the way to the 15-yard line. Another solid punt from the man, Uncle Rico.
That was given by, oh, we got a flag on the play, but Uncle Daniel Rico got that nickname from Mo Patios. By the way, happy birthday to Mo Patios. He is, I think he's like 54, but happy birthday to Mo, the best guy who can break down film on Sunset Rewind in terms of football, no doubt in my mind.
Big personality. You can tell that he's got a coach's mentality when he's on the show, breaking down film. You know, props to him and Kevin for always going out to games and collecting film, including you, Taryn, getting all that film, giving us all the recaps and information to all the fans out there.
Yeah, he's at Artesia High School for Los Alamitos Mission Viejo, and that's a great way to celebrate a birthday.
A lot of really good games around in the CIF Southern section in the regular season finale as the flag is against Villa Park, so this will back them up even further after the punt.
That's going to be a long drive for Villa Park, and that's kind of a little bit of a break for Newport Harbor, and it might, I don't think it was running into the kicker, but that would have probably been a re-kick or an automatic first down. So either way, Villa Park's got a long way to go.
Just saw a banana on your screen. Newport Harbor, if anyone needs some potassium in their system, just make sure you don't eat our man on the sidelines. A minute and 52 left in the first quarter. Bit of a break. Bravo League games tonight. CDM in Yorba Linda's game. If CDM wins, they get the Bravo League title. If they lose, it'll be a three-way tie between Yorba Linda, CDM, and San Juan Hills. But San Juan Hills needs to beat Tesoro High School in the Battle of the Bell tonight. In that game, the other Bravo League across the way as the game here, Villa Park hands off on first down, short game.
Yeah, it's another run for Knuckles, and he just continues to pound the ball really well, and that's what you want to do, get your running back into a rhythm.
Really finding that hole, Villa Park giving him a lot of good open holes up front. And it's a great block there by Marco Valente, 6'1", 255. O-line on the right guard position. Villa Park has a bunch formation now. Massive shift to the left side. And it is a wildcat play by the quarterback. And he's brought down. Good read by Luke Garrido to bring down Lagana just before it could get up the field, but it is enough for a first down.
Yeah, just enough. And I give a lot of credit to Newport Harbor. They were trying to, that is just a weird formation right there, but it works for Villa Park. Newport Harbor did all that it could to try to slow down that run, but unfortunately to no avail.
Villa Park trying a little bit of some trickery here, moving the line a tad bit. Under center is the freshman quarterback who started the game. It's a handoff to Knuckles, very patient. Gets through initial contact, but brought down by the Sailors with James Callahan and Adam Chani, Jagger Nanoon in the mix to bring down the running back on that play.
Yeah, looks like that was a gain of either 2 or 3. So honestly, that's probably the best tackling we've seen Newport Harbor do as of right now. Again, Villa Park is going to be very run heavy, and they really did their homework here.
Baranowski coming into this game almost eclipsing 100 tackles on the season, comes into this one with 97 tackles. 7 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, and 15 hurries. And Villa Park will let the clock run down. It is 7-0 Villa Park on top of the Sailors. Very quick first quarter as we'll take a break here on TAR TV Sports. We'll come right back for the second quarter here on TAR TV Sports on this day before Halloween. back here in the second quarter as Villa Park is on this current drive. They're here on 2nd down and 8. It's a toss down to Lovey Clark. Low pass, and Chani is there, including Callahan to wrap up Lovey Clark before he could get through. It'll bring up 3rd down and fairly manageable for the Spartans here in the second quarter.
Yeah, that is quite the spot right there, and it's going to be very manageable. Don't be surprised if we see a fullback dive on this one.
We could see that same play just before the end of the first quarter from Villa Park where they shifted the entire front line. It looks like they're about to do that one more time. Looks like the Eagles tush push. They do hand it off, and he almost could not go anywhere, but finally finds a hole. Maverick to Clark plows through to get the 1st down.
Yeah, that was a big play right there. Newport Harbor almost had him, but unfortunately, that second effort just gave him enough for that 1st down.
The 1st down, Villa Park. We're going to try to get a stop here and get back on offense where they can climb back and match 7 points that Villa Park put up back in the first quarter. It is Vincenzo Lagana there at the quarterback position, so it looks like it will be a switch up between him and the freshman Jacob Tichenall at that quarterback spot as they give it to Knuckles. He stops and brought down by 3 different sailors on that play. Garrido and Stremick in all, the initial contact from Baranowski as well.
Yeah, Knuckles tried to stop on a dime, but I think that actually kind of hurt him because it gave Newport Harbor the chance to catch their breath and catch up to him, and I think he might have done a little too much on that play.
That's what every coach tells every defender. The big idea is to not go after the player, throw your body across, but break down before you get to the point of contact. 2nd down and 7 for Spartans. It's a pass play. Down the field, Vincenzo overshoots his man, missing. Was the freshman quarterback Titch, but he misses with the coverage there by Luke Garrido.
Yeah, he overshot his receiver a little too much on that throw. You see right here, just a wee bit long. Thankfully for Garrido, not too much contact.
The intended receiver was Ben Hanna, Big Ben on the outside. It is a 3rd down and 7. Newport needing a stop right here. Pitch backs up, takes a shot, and it's very low to the ground. Intended for Vincenzo Lagana, incomplete.
And this is what Newport Harbor needs to do. They gotta force the opposing Villa Park to throw the ball. Villa Park is a very strong run team, but does not look like they haven't been, other than that big broken coverage play, they haven't really been ultimately strong throwing it. And they are going, oh no, they're not going to throw it.
They do have Vincenzo there. We'll see if he does a quarterback punt potentially. Now he's just trying to cause Newport Harbor's line to jump. And now they shift the entire offense. 3 receivers down below. Again, rolling the trickery for the Spartans. Play clock is rolling down, so looks like there will be a potential timeout. They move. What is going on? They have moved the line 3 times. And there's the timeout from Villa Park.
Yeah, Villa Park is really trying to catch Newport Harbor off of its game, but Newport Harbor is doing a good job of staying focused and locking in. And that's something you have to do if you're Newport Harbor. You have to lock in, no excuses.
Dusan Ansich, the coach for Villa Park in his 17th season. Been there since 2008 for Villa Park. Calls a timeout there, but obviously a lot of experience. We got the Lorax in the building. Look at that.
Love it.
Actually, the Lorax did sing the national anthem to begin the game. Gotta say, I felt pretty inspired to go plant some trees later after this game. I don't know about you, Taryn.
Love it. Love the Halloween spirit and whatnot.
Well, hopefully he's not going to be raiding some malls later like that. I think his name is Jacob or something. A lot of celebrities here in the building tonight. We got Alvin and the Chipmunks, the M&Ms. We've even got a golf legend wearing the green jacket from the Masters. There's another doppelganger Lorax for the cheerleading squad. A lot of costumes showing out here tonight at Davidson Field. We love the spirit on Halloween, or day before Halloween night. But Villa Park will punt away. It is a roll-out punt. A fairly good one. Backs up Palmer, and he just evades the entire ball in its entirety and lets it roll for a Villa Park bounce up to about the 22-yard line. That's where Newport will start. A flag on the play on the other side of the field near the 40 of Villa Park.
If this is on Newport Harbor, their drive is going to be a little longer. But as we see everything, well, it looks like the official's talking to Burns, so it might be on Villa Park. That may push Newport Harbor up, but a little bit of a game break as Corona Del Mar and Yorba Linda are tied at 7-7. Yorba Linda actually led 7-0 to start the game off, and that was actually the first time Corona Del Mar has trailed in the Bravo League. This shows that Corona Del Mar is the class of the Bravo League.
So Sailors are going to get backed up by that flag. Looks like it was a holding call. Andrew Cisneros, a.k.a. Drewski for Villa Park, was right there at the same spot trying to get through. And we thought initially it was going to be maybe a taunting call or something like that because he was looking at the Newport sideline. But it's a holding call, backs up Newport, and they have a tough spot here on this third drive of the game for the Sailors here.
Yeah, you just can't do that if you're Newport Harbor. You just can't have silly mistakes and make it tough on yourself. You got to make things as simple as possible, but not simple. That's the old saying.
Really with Yamakawa at his left side, bottom of your screen, 4 receivers. Shifting over is Palmer. Figueroa throws to the air and nearly picked off. There was a great read there by Villa Park as the route was jumped by Ethan Hedrick, a.k.a. Uno. Jumped right in front of Palmer and almost was a walk-in pick 6.
Ah, yes, he almost had that pick 6, but fortunately couldn't hold on, slipped right through his fingers, and Newport Harbor catches a big break because he really jumped that passing lane perfectly. Unfortunately, just to no avail.
Sailors catch a break on that first down play. We'll see what they try to change up here.
Only got 10 yards offensively. They got to get something going here. I just can't stress it enough.
You got one-on-one coverage on the bottom with Stremick as Palmer comes to his side. It is a handoff to Yamakawa, but he's met immediately by Villa Park for a half of a yard of a gain to bring up 3rd down and 9.
Looks like it'll be 1 yard at best, but yeah, it's a 3rd and long situation for Newport Harbor. They just can't have themselves in this situation.
This team has been averaging 316 yards all-purpose per game. That fact you just threw out there, not exactly what we've seen often from the Sailors, even if it comes in the later games. They've had a tough schedule the last couple against San Juan Hills, Yorba Linda. They've had some tough ones early on the season, but they still managed to eke out some really good games throughout this season. Figueroa gets hit from behind, and he was brought down for a huge sack by Villa Park.
Yeah, Villa Park is just playing bully ball on that one. I think that was 58, Tanner Miller the Thriller on that one. Here's the instant replay. Yeah, it was Miller. It was Miller time on that sack.
Love that.
Now Villa Park's going to get some really good field position. Also keep an eye on number 53, Turner Hughes. Wise source told me that he is a stud.
Uncle Rico will be backed up in his own end zone. They've had some troubles with snap. There's a good one there, and he drops the ball. Rico has to take it, and he's running up the field. There he goes. Rico got the first down. A blown-up punt turns into a benefit for the Sailors.
Wow, that might be something you might never see before. That is just unbelievable. Because look, as you said, they've been having trouble with snaps, but Rico just takes this up the gut, and that's just something you never really see. That's something you never really seen drawn up.
What a play by Uncle Rico to have the awareness to pick up the ball after dropping it, and then having the will all to just go up the field and get the first down in what should be a sparker here for the Sailors. Now they've re-sparked life into this drive.
It's the first down of the game, by the way.
Kakamori gets the handoff, but he really cannot go anywhere. He was waiting for a hole, but finally brought down right at the line by Tanner Miller.
Yep, the same guy that had the sack a little while ago had the tackle for loss.
The Thriller might be dancing a little bit of Michael Jackson after those last couple plays. It'll be second down after the loss of about 1 for Spigarelli. Wild fact indeed for Uncle Rico to get the first down for his team. He's not even an offensive player. Spigarelli on second down just tries to take it out. He's still up on his feet, but finally brought down by Villa Park as he's got nowhere to go.
Yeah, looks like Sean Burns got to him, and that's just an unfortunate break right there for Newport Harbor, as well as Spigarelli. It's now 3rd and long again. Newport Harbor just can't keep doing this to themselves. They just can't.
It has been tough for them with McKibben being out for some time. They've been looking for that number 1 target. It looked like that for Jackson Stremick a week ago, getting that big touchdown reception, a few good screen plays here and there, jet sweeps. He's been really that Swiss Army knife everyone thought he was going to be at the beginning of the season. We're starting to see it now, but in a spot here, this will be tough for the Sailors. 3rd and 15. Spigarelli gets hit as he throws. Incomplete. He was looking for Palmer down near the left hashes, and it is incomplete. 4th down once again for the Sailors.
Looks like DeClark was down, but now he's back up. But yeah, that is just not enough time in the pocket for Spigarelli to throw it. And it's tough, so it's another punt for Newport Harbor. And Villa Park's going to have some good field position here. It's really looking droll here for Newport Harbor offensively, even after that big play from Daniel Rico.
In plays like that can help out a team in just situations, but it didn't turn out like that. So the Sailors have their offense here on 4th down and 15.
Well, these are one of the trick plays, and going for it all plays. You never know. You're a wounded bear, got nothing left to lose.
He's backs up. Yep, he punts. It's a roller that goes to the other side of the field, and it will take a Newport bounce, then a Villa 1, and stop right about the 43-yard line of Villa Park. That's where they'll have it coming up on this next drive.
The interesting thing for Newport Harbor's defense is if they get the stop and they prevent Villa Park from scoring, then Newport Harbor's offense can possibly try to get a score here, because Newport Harbor gets the ball to start the second half. Newport Harbor really has to play its cards right on this drive. No excuses.
This was a team last year that's almost right about to match their season totals from last year in passing yards. 1,908 passing yards a season ago. This year, coming into this game, 1,767 yards in total for both Mir and Spigarelli as Villa Park hands off to Knuckles. He gets another really solid gain out of that run, 7 yards up to about midfield.
Yeah, he is just really he's starting to get it going here, and that is trouble for Newport Harbor as they have a player down. Like that is 21, Bill Hancock.
Hancock has really settled in a good spot for much of this late part of the season. He has 13 total tackles coming into this game, 1 tackle for loss, 1 pass deflection. We've seen him gain a few tackles here. He's back up on his feet with the help of the trainers. He will slowly take off the field, but in a spot here, look, it is still fairly close, much closer than what we've seen from North Belinda and obviously San Juan Hills from that first game, but Newport Harbor really needing to get things going on offense, and we just haven't seen that from them since that game against Colony High School.
Yeah, again, Newport Harbor's averaging a little over 33 points per game. Now that number has dipped down to 11 ever since they've started the league. So still averaging 21 points per game on average throughout the season, but we just haven't seen, their offense is just in a funk. Now it's time for the defense to answer the call.
It's the freshman, backs up way back as he throws deep, and he's got Lovey Clark Jackson Stremick could not make the tackle, and Clark, for the second time tonight, is into the end zone for Villa Park.
Yeah, they left Clark open again as Clark Kent flew past his defender, got the ball, and just ran on into the end zone for the touchdown. He's having himself a super game, if you ask me.
So Villa Park trying to get win number 5 on the season. They're on track to do that right now. 4-5. Being at 500 would be a big deal for them in their hopes of trying to get into November and continue playing. And Villa Park will add the extra points here as they went from the PAT formation back to another formation and then back to PAT formation. This looks like the Kansas City Chiefs on a few plays.
It's like a little like Edison and when they played Los Alamitos at SoFi, like I mentioned.
So 14 points up on the board, all thanks to Lovey Clark. As the Man of Steel flies into the end zone twice here tonight, and 5 minutes left in the first half on this day before Halloween. And again, we talked about a lot of good games with the Bravo League and all. Also tonight, Mishimeho against Los Alamitos in a very big game.
Yeah, you mentioned Bravo League games. San Juan Hills was up 21-0 against Tesoro, which don't want to be disrespectful to Tesoro, but I feel that's kind of expected. San Juan Hills has rediscovered themselves after getting thumped against Corona Del Mar. Back to big game receivers. Clark has 3 catches, but he has a whopping 87 yards with 2 touchdowns. He is just having himself a big game so far.
He's pretty much been the entire receiving core for Villa Park through much of this season. A combined 500-plus receiving yards this season. 80 is his long. He's been averaging about 60 yards per game in total. He's eclipsed that by a lot in just 3 receptions. Like you said, 6 touchdowns with 2 tonight. And Newport Harbor needs to bounce back here as quickly as they can. Stremick with a good return bounces to the outside. Tackle out of bounds, almost by the helmet too, but he's up there on a good return to about the 26-yard line.
Yeah, Newport Harbor needs some sort of spark right here. This is the big drive because they get the ball to start the second half. If they get a touchdown, they'll only be down 7. If their defense does their job, then they'll be down 7, they'll get the ball to start the second half, and they'll be in a better spot as opposed to being down 2 scores.
As of late, though, the return game for Newport Harbor has gotten a lot better. As we see on the replay, almost brought down with a face mask there. We also saw a really good return from Ethan Ambat and Trevor Glynn a couple of times against Yorba Linda last week, with Glynn almost getting to the end zone, getting past midfield. But the Sailors here starting first down from the 26. Spigarelli finds an open man as he gets up, dives forward, past the line to gain. Wyatt Wilson has a first down yardage.
Well, that is a good sign for Newport Harbor. They need that play and then some, just because they need to get in some sort of a rhythm to find themselves out of this hole.
Wilson had been absent for much of the last couple of games. He's here tonight, has that reception to get the first down. And Newport Harbor looking to get some rhythm here on this drive before the end of the first half. They need 7 here, Taryn.
Yeah, even if it means that Newport Harbor has to dig into their trick plays and whatnot, they got to get something here. Got to catch Villa Park sleeping, which they don't.
Kawa gets the handoff, and he's right there, immediately met at the line. Really not much to go for. Namakawa just really hasn't been able to find a lot of big open holes. Jonah Takamori has been there. But those totals throughout this season have been dipping below 4 yards in average, with Takamori with 3.9 yards per carry, Yamakawa with 3.5 per carry. Before the San Juan Hills game, they were averaging well over 5 yards a carry.
Yeah, it just seems like Newport Harbor's missing that ingredient. It's like they just are missing that sauce, that oomph that's going to help them get to that next level of efficiency.
Figarelli empties the pocket, gets it down to Wilson, dives forward for about 6 yards, makes it third and manageable now.
Yeah, very good manageable play right there. I think they might get him for more. I think they might get him for 7, which just aids the cause better. And Looks like Wilson's is gonna be the guy to step up with McKibben out.
Stremick stepped up last week. Wilson starting to get some rhythm here with his junior quarterback in Jordan Spigarelli, who transferred here from J. Sarah, just like Villa Park with their quarterback situation. Came in here after a 5-game block and started in the Battle of the Bay. A really tough stretch of games for him as a starter, and they make the pass complete to Wyatt Wilson. He is right there at the line for the first down.
Yeah, that was a good slant play right there. Got him perfectly for the first down, and thankfully for Wilson, he was able to go down right at the marker. Well, I imagine Newport Harbor would have gone for it if it was like 4th and 1 or 4th and short.
They're 1 yard away from midfield after the first down gain, all by Wyatt Wilson so far on this drive. Spigarelli is met and finally brought down by Villa Park. He almost had a chance to get out of the pocket, but he's finished off by Turner Hughes, a.k.a. Timmy T.
That's one of the guys that I was talking about. Source told me that Turner Hughes was a stud on this Villa Park defense, and he actually is the nephew of Travis Turner, the head coach at Orange Coast College, in terms of him being the men's volleyball coach. So have to give him a shout out right there.
Orange Coast College not too far away from here. 2nd down and 12. It was a loss of 2 after that sack play. Spigarelli trying to go deep. He gets hit, and it is nearly picked off. Didn't really seem like Cooper Nageli had concentration on that ball. It is incomplete, so another break caught for the Sailors on 2nd down. It brings up 3rd and long.
Yeah, that was an interesting play. It just felt like everyone thought the play was whistled dead, but Spigarelli just took a shot. Did you know that Villa Park has more sacks in this game than Yorba Linda and San Juan Hills did combined against Newport Harbor? Let's look at this. Number 11, Parker Johns just knocked the living wind out of him.
Seems like Villa Park has been running a stunt at the front spot of that line. 3rd down, expect a blitz here. They do bring 5. Spigarelli settles in, finds Stremick, and he's tripped up from the D-back. Sean Burns, a.k.a. Sugar, brings him down. Only a gain of about 3 to bring up 4th down and 9. We'll see if this is 4th down territory for Coach Burns.
Yeah, Villa Park has been really locked in defensively, and I don't know if that's just because they're fighting for a possible spot in the playoffs or they're just fighting for 500, but they just look locked in overall.
A timeout called by Villa Park as they head back to their sidelines for the moment. And Coach Burns will have a little bit of time to kind of discuss this play right here, which is pretty big in the moment as it speaks. For most of the night, we'll be tracking a lot of those Bravo League games and seeing what that's like. But for Newport Harbor, those playoff hopes still not out of the question. Right now, they'd be right around maybe Division 5, Division 6 in terms of what the projections look like throughout the week. But here's kind of where every other opponent that they played, they lost to Marietta Mesa. Right now, they're 6-3, 4-0, first in the Big West, like we talked about. The Lancaster, who's 7-0 this season, first in the Golden League. El Medina, who could finish 2nd in the Delta. Cajon, who's 1st in the Citrus League. And then Colony, who's right there at 3rd, could be 2nd in the Sierra League. So they played a lot of really good teams in lower divisions or leagues per se. But again, it's up to the committee to kind of determine where they fall. It is 4th down as Spigarelli punts it away.
The big punt. I'm going to take the Villa Park down. So, yeah, you mentioned all their the body of work that they have. Newport Harbor has played. They have not played a whole lot of cupcakes, and honestly, Newport. You can make a case that Newport Harbor deserves to be in the postseason. That kind of was the case for them back in 2021, 4 years ago, when they were 3-7 and 2-3 in league, over 2-3 in league, and they got in. And obviously, we all know what happened. They wound up winning the Division 6 championship. It was the first ever year of Sunset Rewind.
Villa Park, Knuckles gets the carry, bounces off of a few tackles, and being brought down right past the sticks, about a yard in front of it. It's less than a minute left in the first half. And there was a timeout called by Villa Park too.
Yeah, that's basically to stop the clock, but they are now, if everything looks correct, they are now out of timeout, which is big for them, and they won't be able to stop the clock, so they've got 52 seconds to either go down the field and get some points. This is the big drive for Newport Harbor because they'll get the ball to start the second half, and being down 2 scores isn't as bad as being down 3 scores.
Less than an hour since kickoff when this game began. Meanwhile, for Villa Park, last year 7-4. They had a much better regular season last year. They were 3-2 in the Bravo League, right in the middle of the pack. They lost to Vista Marietta 20-23 in the first round of the CIF Southern Section D3 bracket. They really haven't tasted a lot of victory over the years since their school football program started. The only time they've been able to get a CIF championship was back in 1977.
Yeah, it's been a while, but Villa Park has had some postseason success.
Tossed down and off the hands of Ben Hanna. Would have had a first down gain and more. It brings up a second down with 48 seconds left on the clock. So Villa Park looking like they are trying to drive down the field right now, but they need to get at least beyond or close to midfield before they get to third down here.
Yeah, and you look on that replay, the receiver had the ball, but unfortunately he just had a little bit too much of momentum on that run, and unfortunately just couldn't hold on to the ball.
Oh, too much mustard on that throw, a little bit extra relish included as well on that play. So Villa Park has 5 wide receivers out wide. It will go to their freshman QB, Jacob Tichenall. He backs up, takes a shot while being hit. There's a coverage on the other side by Lucarito. A little bit of contact, but it is incomplete.
The receiver had his back turned on that one, so I could see why there was no flag thrown. So now it goes to 3rd and long for Villa Park, and Villa Park has to abandon the run here. I don't see them wanting to run the ball because they can't run it, otherwise they'll either have to go hurry up or they're just going to have to clock it by spiking the ball.
So 3rd down and 10. Decision time here for Villa Park. We'll see what they do here. Meanwhile, you take a look at the replay. Yep, both the receiver and the defensive back were backs turned, so really not a lot of grounds for calling a pass interference call on those types of plays. Villa Park is going back to 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and running back to the right side of Titch. He looks to his right, finds the hook and ladder, and there he goes. Vincenzo Lagata getting to the end zone. Touchdown Spartans on a massive trick play right before the half.
There it is. That's the trick plays that I was talking about. That's Villa Park digging into their bag of tricks. And Newport Harbor unfortunately caught the bait. It was hook, line, and sinker from there. Just got to give a tip of the hat to them on that play. That was just clever right there.
They go with the famous Boise State play against Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl from years ago. They managed to get a massive gain about 80 yards down the field to put up 20 on the board, looking for 21 or 22 here. Another strange formation from Villa Park. They have really gone deep into the playbook. They snap the ball. It is a jump ball, and it is caught for the 2-point conversion.
Everything is now turning upside down for Newport Harbor, while everything is looking so much up for Villa Park. This is kind of the whole nothing left to lose game, and this is what Newport Harbor's got to do. Have some fun. I think Villa Park is having fun and enjoying themselves, while Newport Harbor is just playing a little too tight and too conservative, in my opinion. I think that's kind of been the difference between Villa Park and Newport Harbor tonight. And again, this first half, it just continues to just be bad news bears for Newport Harbor. If they don't get a score here, this will be the 3rd straight game they will have failed to score any points in the first half.
Sean Sugar Burns on that play. Tossed it to Austin. Kamala, aka AK-47, as he gets a 2-point conversion. So 22 unanswered points from Villa Park up on the board for the Spartans as Newport Harbor looks on, trying to get anything going in this first half. They've had a little bit of magic, a little bit of miracles, a couple of saves, a couple of breaks. But again, like you talked about, Newport Harbor, a bit of a trend happening here for them. You talked about the points not being able to score on the board. And again, double-digit points in the last 3 games in the first half.
And they're down 3 scores just like the previous 3+ scores like in the previous 3 games. Oh my goodness.
Bit of a fumble there on the catch by Cade Clark with another short kick by Villa Park. He was fair catching it. He did bobble a little bit, but he's able to corral it before dropping it right to Villa Park. Almost had another chance to put up some more points, but we'll see if the Sailors either take a knee here, recollect going into halftime, or if they try to do something with 31 seconds left on the board.
The interesting thing is for Newport Harbor, they have all 3 of their timeouts, and honestly, why not let... Oh, it looks like they're going to kneel it out. So.
And they do indeed. So Spigarelli goes down to the knee, and we're going to go into halftime. 22 points, 2-0. Sailors and Villa Park. Villa Park has really managed to take control of this game in all regards with the hook and ladder just before the clock would strike 0. We're off to halftime here. The day before Halloween night. It's another chilly and spooky but eerie night. And a big question on the board, can Newport Harbor pull out a treat before it becomes a trick? Because they've seen tricks all night from the Spartans, wouldn't you say, Taryn?
Yeah, absolutely. Newport Harbor just needs some sort of spark. They do get the ball to start the second half, but they just need some sort of spark here. It's like they do not want to lose and make history in the wrong way. So they really got to get something going here. No excuses. Hopefully their seniors fire up their team. If not, the coaching staff fires up the team.
So we'll be back here on TAR TV Sports. 22 for Villa Park, none for Newport Harbor. We'll be back after this break into halftime.
Marching Sailor Regiment with special guest varsity squad.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Marching Sailor Regiment with special guest varsity squad. The sailors are under the direction of Mr. Andy Julian. Staff includes Wes Pullman, Charlie Grove, and Angel Montano. Student leadership includes Drum Major Bells Lutz, Assistant Drum Major Jack Arrow, Captains Jack Douglas, Sage Baranowski, Heather Rivard, Nicole Sanchez, and Riley Ordaz. And section leaders Jackie Cortez, Yanette Perez, Jack Arrow, Keone Fabrizio, and Johnny Enos. Once again, the Marching Sailor Regiment.
Welcome back here on TAR TV Sports. We're here for the second half between Villa Park and Newport Harbor. Villa Park with 22 unanswered points in that first half. But on the festivities at halftime, we love the Halloween costumes and showing out here at Davidson Field. You see the marching band down there on the field. Justin Lee alongside Taryn Rodriguez. We're going to quickly send it down to Ivania on the sidelines, who's got a little bit of a hit for us. Ivania, you're back on. What's going on?
Thanks, guys. The Sailors hit into the second half ready to battle. They show plenty of energy, a big play potential tonight. Now it's about keeping that momentum and making them push in the final 2 quarters. Back to you.
Thank you, Vanya. Well, Taryn, what needs to be kind of different in the second half that we really haven't seen from the Sailors in the last 2 games? What do they need in this finale to pull out a victory?
They just need some sense of urgency, in my opinion. I think that hook and ladder play really sucked the energy out of them, and they really got to start reestablishing themselves. If they have any sort of pride left in them, they got to go out there, make sure they don't get shut out, let alone they don't lose on their home field. Play spoiler to Villa Park. Have fun. Make some trick plays. Look at what Villa Park did. Like, they obviously are playing for playoffs, but they are digging into their bag of tricks to try to get the win. Why not have Newport Harbor try to do that? They're a good team. They've got some offensive key pieces. Why not try to fake Villa Park out? They got nothing left to lose. So let's see them actually go out there. Let's see them razzle and dazzle on this pre-Halloween night.
And the Sailors still have at least some good hopes for the playoffs for, however much time they have left on this field together in the navy blue or the gray, whether that would be for the Sailors. But like you said, just need to go have fun, settle back in, start making some good plays, and really flip the switch on Villa Park, because that's exactly what Villa Park has been doing, dominating, turning it upfield, going with the trickery deep into their playbook. We saw the hook and ladder, just like the Boise State against Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl in Arizona all those years ago. But we want to see more of that. And why not? It's a day before Halloween. Let's have some fun. Let's go get some tricks in the bag. Let's go toss some treats out there onto the field. What do you want to see for Newport Harbor? Which names do you want to see and hear as the broadcast goes on for the rest of this game tonight, Taryn?
Yeah, I want to see like Ryan Palmer step up. I want to see the offensive line shine, just because they are not giving Spigarelli any time to throw, and he has been taking a beating out there.
Newport Harbor is trying to avoid a regular season where they go 2-8 on the year. The last time they did that was back in 2017.
Yes.
Lost the first 8 games. It was right at the very end of Jeff Brinkley's career. And after 32 years, he stepped away from the game. But, it's still early in Coach Matt Burns' career. You want to see Newport Harbor kind of show out and bring out the big guns.
Well, interesting thing is that Matt Burns actually took over as the interim coach after Jeff Brinkley had a little bit of a minor health scare. It was against Huntington Beach, and Newport Harbor was in that situation. They had nothing left to lose. They played spoiler to Huntington Beach that game. Huntington Beach failed to make the playoffs. We need to see that Newport Harbor out there.
Fair catch just called another short kick as the Sailors get the ball started off in the second half. James Callahan with the fair catch. They'll be right up to the 20-yard line. We're still paying attention to a lot of the games happening around the Bravo League. We're still talking about Yorba Linda and Corona Del Mar. Still a pretty tight game. Mission Viejo and Los Alamitos, like the last we checked, Mission Viejo was leading by a touchdown. But
now it's Los Al up by a point. 28
there we go.
27.
Another good game there as the Sailors will come back out onto the field, and guess who it is? It's Jake Muir at the quarterback spot, taking over for Spigarelli in the second half. So the Sailors going with a little bit of something different this time, looking for some extra seasoning.
This could be the last time we could be seeing Muir on this field. Let's see him put on a show.
The Snake steps back. He will toss on the first play and nearly drop it into the bucket to Ty Ditto, but it's over the wrong shoulder, incomplete.
Yeah, we need to. I'm now expecting more RPOs from Jake. I expect him to take off with the ball. I think Newport Harbor just needs to get some offense going. We need to see some sort of like offensive like showcase here from the Sailors.
We're talking about a Jake Muir that has been averaging nearly 200 yards passing per game, 15 touchdowns this season, only 3 interceptions. He has been so solid at that quarterback position for the Sailors in the first half of this regular year, and there's a jump right at the center spot's false start. Bit of a miscommunication between Jake Muir and his center, Presley Taylor. Regardless, it'll back him 5 yards. It'll make it even further, 2nd and 15 for the Sailors. So a bit of a rough start to start off here in the second half for the Sailors.
So while we're in the third quarter of this game, Corona Del Mar, Yorba Linda is at halftime. Sea Kings lead the Mustangs 21-7. San Juan Hills was up 41-0 on Tesoro as another flag.
It's a false start. Christian Valadez at the left guard position moved before the ball snapped, so 10 yards. And we haven't even snapped the ball for second down yet.
I think the next false start will be half the distance.
Jake Muir with 2nd down and 20 up on the board. Didn't ask for a bigger task, and it's a pass to Stremick. It's right through his hands, incomplete.
Yeah, you don't really have a lot of plays in the playbook for 3rd and 20. You just don't. So I am expecting either a handoff or Jake Muir to just run with it. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll have a little bit of a surprise play like they did with Daniel Rico on that botched snap in the end zone when they were trying to punt.
Hopefully don't want to fall into that situation again, just like the first half. Daniel Rico dropped the punt on the snap, took the ball, went fire drill, went all the way to get a first down about 20 yards away from the end zone. And here on 3rd and 20, Muir is taking a deep shot and just underthrown. He was looking for Connor Merrick. It will be 4th down and 20. See Uncle Rico on the field yet. Sailors are keeping their offense up on the field for the moment. Not sure if they're trying to go for it 20 yards away from the sticks, or if they will try to do what Spigarelli did in the first half, take a few steps back and punt it away for a QB punt.
They do go for it on 4th down. I'm expecting some sort of like amazing trick play, which will probably make ESPN's top 10.
Look at my vote if they can get this first down. And Muir does punt it away. Good spinner. Takes a Newport bounce on the other side of the field and rolls out at about the 41-yard line of Villa Park. So Villa Park will have their first possession of this second half. Lovey Clark, who has been the #1 receiver in that first half, 2 touchdowns into the end zone.
And as we were talking about earlier, the Mission Viejo Los Alamitos is going on. Mission Viejo just retook the lead at 34-28. Looks like when Mission Viejo scored their first touchdown, they went for 2, did not get it. That could loom large for the Diablos. This is a high-scoring affair, which could favor Mission Viejo, but this is a whole different Los Alamitos team.
And Los Alamitos trying to come back from a really tough loss against San Clemente a week ago. We talked about it at halftime when we saw the game at SoFi Stadium. Coach Fenton loves to talk about that brotherhood for the Griffins this season. Here's a handoff to Knuckles. He sheds one tackler before turning up, getting past the sticks, and a few extra for a first down on a gain of 13.
Yeah, he was scampering on that play. Just great running by him. And, oh my, he actually went down for a bit. It looked like he might have had a little bit of a spill, but it's still a first down, and he's going to come out. I think he's earned a little bit of a break here, and for Newport Harbor, this kind of gives him a little bit of time to breathe and maybe plan out for what Villa Park will do. Maybe Villa Park will throw it right now.
Running back in here is Mason Culp, the musician, at the running back spot next to his freshman QB, who steps back. Marcella, all there behind him. And he, with the help of Baldakowski, he will go down for the sack.
And that's the first sack of the night for Newport Harbor. It's about time they got some pressure on any sort of quarterback that Villa Park has.
Marcella, the team leader in sacks for the Sailors this season, now has number 6 on the year.
Loss of 3 on that play, which is a big, big play for Newport Harbor's defense. Got to get them some confidence just because you're down 3 scores. You got to find some sort of way back into this game.
Villa Park on 2nd down and 13 yards away from the line of gain. They bring out Legata in shotgun, who has run a few Wildcat plays. He does give it off to Knuckles, who's back into the game after stepping out for 1. There is a flag at the end of the run there.
There was a lot of terrain open for Knuckles. We'll see if that's holding on Villa Park.
Baranowski on the tackle stopped Knuckles. Coy Collins for a pretty good gain that could make it 3rd and manageable if this stays up for Villa Park. But here comes the Whitecap.
Yep, it's holding. There was a lot of space for Knuckles on that one.
We've said it before, anytime you see a lot of big space for an open runner, you can expect a holding call to be right behind it, and Villa Park will back up 10 yards. It will be 2nd down and about 23 yards away. As they back up here. A lot of big news around CIF Southern Section these days. We talked about early on in the year when Bishop Montgomery had to cancel their season because of issues with eligibility. The big news this week was Norco High School having to forfeit 9 games off their schedule. As they hand off, Villa Park gives it Knuckles. He goes for about 6 yards. He's close to the original line of scrimmage and about a yard ahead of it. It'll make it 3rd down and 9.
So the reason why it wasn't 2nd and 23 is because that came on a 2nd down play, and I guess they took the penalty, the difference between the penalty of 10 yards and the run on that play. Yeah.
So it's 3rd down and 9. A little bit more manageable for Villa Park. Again, Knuckles just running wild. Earned that name as much as so. And again, Villa Park with that run game. We've talked about 5.9 yards per carry, averaging up until last week, a few weeks ago for the Spartans, and we'll see what they do here.
That's Knuckles. Where's Sonic?
Tossed by the freshman. It's dropped. It is dropped by Vincenzo Legata, who has already had a touchdown reception tonight. James Callahan in coverage there. It didn't really look like he had much of an effect there, but it is incomplete and 4th down.
Yeah, that one went right in his hands, but he dropped it, and that is a big break for Newport Harbor, as that could have been a 1st down and then some.
It is pretty moist out here at the field as the fog has kind of come in from the coastline. Fashion Island is currently covered by a haze at the moment, so that moisture might be covering those gloves here in the 2nd half, as Villa Park is rolling through the playbook once again as they shift the offensive line. And the freshman quarterback pitch is at the 50-yard line right behind 2 wide receivers. It's given, and it's a jump ball. They were looking for Ben Hanna. It's incomplete. He didn't see it in time, and it's a turnover on down near midfield for Newport Harbor.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like there was just a disconnection between the QB and the receiver. I just think that was just a little bit of a broken play that just could not be repaired. So Newport Harbor, they get the stop defensively. They really have to get this going offensively. No excuses now.
Look again, Villa Park trying a lot of trick plays. Pulled one out there, but this time Newport Harbor was not fooled on that play. They will have 1st down with Mir coming back out to center. Takamori, haven't seen much of him tonight, is back there at the running back spot. 4 wide receivers for the Sailors. 1st down from the 45 of the Tars. Mir with a good pocket. He rolls out to his left. Takes a throw off his left foot. Wide open is Ryan Palmer, chasing to the end zone. He is pushed out of bounds just before he could get there by Sean Burns, and it is a huge gain from about the 45 of Newport, about 50 yards on the play.
Absolutely amazing field awareness. Great placement right there, and great route running as well. That's a 50-yard gain right there. Biggest play of the game for the Sailors as they are in business. This is the big play that they need to like spark their offense. So this might be 4-down territory.
Saw a broken coverage play last week with Jackson Strema getting into the end zone. This time it's Ryan Palmer. Doesn't get to the end zone, but first down and goal for the Sailors.
No!
And it's flipped sides for Villa Park as they pick off Jake Meir. And there he goes. All the way in open field. Villa Park has flipped it on its other side and taken it to the house.
Devin Brown, junior, 95-yard interception to the house. 47, quarter 3, Devin Brown.
I don't know what to say. I really don't.
Speechless is the Newport Harbor side as Devin Brown, Dope Dev, takes it 90 yards to the house on a slant play that was jump cut by the cornerback, and Villa Park puts 28 on the board.
96 maybe to be exact. 96 or 95 to be exact on that pick six.
The Sailors bring in a little bit of momentum back, but Villa Park has once again taken the energy out of the Sailors on just one play. Extra point is up. Good for Villa Park. 29 on the board for the Spartans, where Newport has typically shown a lot of big plays in the early part of this season. But right now, Villa Park looking like what Newport should be looking like in this game. And boy, oh boy, have they really pushed it on the other side of the Sailors. They have fallen for the trick indeed.
I'm still baffled by that play. That's just a great play by the defender right there, just reading the lane. Looked like he kind of wrestled the ball away from the receiver, and he shook a couple tackles. That's just an amazing play right there. You just can't get mad at that if you're a Newport Harbor fan. That's just a great play right there, and you just got to tip your hat. So, but I'm just speechless right there.
And look, this is where Villa Park has kind of specialized a little bit. That defensive side, maybe not as strong as a lot of their opponents in the Bravo League this season, but they've held a lot of the bigger dogs in the Bravo League to less points than what Newport has given up, and Tesoro combined as well. And right now they're holding Newport to 0 as the kickoff almost dropped again by Cade Clark, but he's able to wrap it up before it could get away from him.
Yeah, Newport Harbor, they just got to shake off that play. Look, I get it. It's just one of those nights. This is kind of scary hours for them. But honestly, they got to continue to play the game. There's still time on the clock. And I know it's been a minute since we've seen a team rally back from a 4-score deficit to win the game, especially on the high school level. But it is possible. Last time I saw that, and forgive me for telling you this, was Vista Marietta against Villa Park, or not Vista Marietta against Tesoro in the 2014 playoffs. So
Jake Muir will try to shake off a pick six throw. Does the RPO, but dumps it off just a little bit in front of Ryan Palmer as he has to dive to go catch the ball. It will be a loss of about a yard or right back to the line of scrimmage for the Sailors. So they're saying the pounce was incomplete, so it is 2nd down and 10 for the Sailors. So nothing lost there on the first down play.
Either way, it was pretty much nothing. If it was caught, then it was a gain of 0 or right back to the line. If it was incomplete, they just dropped it. Because the rule is, if you go down on your own, that counts as the play being dead.
Jake Muir on 2nd down now. Has a runner right behind him. He will take it and call his number. Dives forward, 1st down and more.
That's what we expect from Jake Muir, going RPO style and just going quarterback keeper on that one.
Jake Muir has thrown 2 interceptions in an interception in back-to-back games in this late stretch. Again, we really have not seen a play like that from Jake Muir in some time. He's really been good with the ball in his hands, doing much better than what he did last year in his junior year. But at least we're seeing him run the ball a little bit. Gets the first down at midfield now for the Sailors. Here takes a snap. A little bit too low on that pass, incomplete. Was looking for Wyatt Wilson right at about the 50 of Villa Park.
And that ball was just a little too low, popped right out of Wilson's hands. Again, Newport Harbor, I don't want to say this might be 4-down territory, but I think it might be 4-down territory just because you got to have some sort of sense of urgency. Got to go for it all. Make sure you just get some sort of points.
It's a 4-possession game for the Sailors, and they're going to need to at least put 8 up on the board one time. As Mir brings it down to Stremick. He's got a blocker out in front in Wyatt Wilson, and Stremick gets a lot more, a gain of about 19 yards on the play.
And 19, 20 yards, that's a big play right there, and thankfully he was able to corral that ball in. It looked like he kind of juggled it, but then he just held on for dear life, and he was able to get the first down, and then some good blocking right there. Gotta give some love to the linemen or whoever was blocking. Either way, that was Wyatt Wilson on that block.
So first down after the huge play from Stremick as Mir has to get out of the pocket, turns around the corner. He's got a wide open hole as he steps out at about the 5 or 6 yard line. He'll be set up for the Sailors as they're in the red zone once again.
All right, this is where Newport Harbor has got to strike where the iron is hot.
And the Sailors can have a chance to put the first points on the board for their side in this game. And this is typically where they've been scoring against Bravo League teams. Midway through the second half, putting up points, 2 touchdowns last week, one of them with the backups into the game. But here on first down and goal, Mir steps back, drops it to Ty Ditto, and he's got it for the touchdown, his second touchdown of his senior year.
There you go. That is big right there for Newport Harbor, and great methodical drive for Jake Mir, especially coming back after he got pick 6. That is big right there. That just goes to show that most QBs would probably sulk and pout and throw a fit after they were pick 6, but honestly, Jake Mir responded perfectly, and he responded the way that he did.
Newport Harbor with some newfound life into the game as they put 6 up on the board. Danny Rico to put on the extra point. And it is blocked.
Oh, you can't advance it, so this is another high school football rule. If a ball is blocked, if a kick is blocked or a 2-point conversion is intercepted, you can't advance it. So it's not like college or high school.
So it'll just be 6 points for the Sailors. They will probably have to try to go for a 2-point conversion at least twice now to try to bring it back and at least tie it against the Spartans. But like we talked about, a little bit of life here for the Sailors with 6 minutes 58 left in the third quarter.
What they got to do, they got to keep playing the game, keep pounding, and make sure they don't give up by any means. Play with pride, play with poise, play like you're in the postseason, and just have some fun out there.
So back to the point about Norco High School, they had to drop 9 games instead of the record they currently have, 6-3. So again, it's been kind of a trend as of late in CIF with a lot of schools having to forfeit because of eligibility issues. We're kind of blowing it off, but we won't really kind of talk about what the details were about that whole situation. It's a touchback here for Danny Rico, but Norco playing tonight, they still have a chance technically to get into the playoffs since they're a top 3 at-large school even after forfeiting 9 games. So a lot of strange storylines in the CAF right now, and this would be another spooky storyline if the Sailors can try to eke out a comeback win here against Villa Park.
Elsewhere in the Bravo League, Yorba Linda actually scored, which means it's Corona Del Mar up 21-14 with 9:08 in the third quarter last I checked.
It will be Jacob Tichenal once again as he gives it off to Knuckles. Walks it up for about 4 yards before being brought down by Baranowski. He
Yeah.
is a little bit slow to get up.
Uh-oh. I was about to say, if Ville Park is strategic, they're going to want to run the ball, bleed the clock out, make sure they get out of here as healthy as possible in case they do have if they do make the playoffs and whatnot. Because that's something they want. Get out here as healthy as possible with little to no injuries.
Titch throws it down. One-man miss for Lovey Clark, 2. As he was breaking tackles in a huge 10-yard gain for the first down for the Spartans. Lovey Clark has been on another level tonight for Villa Park.
He is almost past 100 receiving yards. I have him down for 93. Only 4 catches because Villa Park hasn't really thrown the ball all too much.
Villa Park has a first down. Titch will stay out there up on the field. It is really strange that they have a freshman quarterback out there because Matt Smith is dressed out on the sidelines for Villa Park, but they're electing to go with that freshman QB tonight. It's another handoff for Collins. It's a gain of about 2-3 yards. Second down for Villa Park. I love how Villa Park has all these nicknames for all the players. Every single one of them.
Yeah, shout out to Villa Park. We appreciate them for giving us this roster and information sheet right before game time. And that's very informing, and we deeply appreciate them for doing that.
We even have the starting lineups on the back of this thing, which is really nice. So second down and 8 after the gain of 2 on that run. Titch play action pass. Shoots it down in the middle of the field for Big Ben Hanna.
Oh, no.
Flags after the play.
Can't do that. Just can't. It's just too aggressive to just force him out of bounds like that. He was already on his way out of bounds. You just can't make a dumb bonehead play like that. It's just not right.
No, judging by the reaction from the Villa Park sideline, it will be a penalty for unnecessary roughness pushing out of bounds after.
That was already a big gain as it is, and now it just got even bigger after. Looks like the guilty culprit is number 2, Trevor Glenn.
Trying to wrap up as Big Ben was going out of bounds to the edge of the sideline. So Villa Park will get some extra yardage here. 15 added at the end of the play. So instead of a massive 20-yard gain, it turned into basically a 35-yard gain for Big Ben. And Villa Park is on the doorstep of the red zone once again. And a touchdown here would essentially kind of put away this game in some regards, because Villa Park is up by 3 to 4 possessions right here. 5 possessions would be really tough for Newport to come back from. First down, Vincenzo, who's in their quarterback, tries to take it, and he's thrown to the ground by Owen Baldakowski.
That was WWE style right there, and thankfully that didn't draw another flag. So Newport Harbor, I could sense a little frustration in them just because it's just a little bit of an unsettling thing right there, but they gotta keep having a cool head.
So second down and 8 after the Wildcat play. Titch is back out there at the quarterback spot. Lovey Clark and Vincenzo Lagana out wide. Second and 8, he takes a shot way down the field, but not anywhere close to Lovey Clark with Trevor Lynn on the coverage. Brings up third down.
Saw a little bit of a push off there by Glenn, but not enough for pass interference or anything of that sort to be called. So that was a little bit of a break for Newport Harbor. They just got to keep rolling with the punches here. Just keep doing what they got to do.
Been a long time since we've seen a turnover forced by Newport Harbor. Battle of the Bay was the last time with that fumble recovered by Trevor Glynn close to the end zone. And on third down, it's a screen play, but probably a good idea that that ball was incomplete because Big Ben Hanna was about to get blown up by the Newport defense.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of pressure coming up from Newport Harbor, and Ville Park just had to get rid of it before they were blown up altogether. So now this is a very fascinating spot. It's too close to punt. Too close to punt, but probably too far to go for it on fourth. So they may just try a field goal. And remember, last year, Nate Lewis was the one that booted in the 52-yard field goal against Newport Harbor.
41-yard attempt. It's online, and it is good. 41-yard field goal is good by Dalton G.K. Lang to put up 3 more up on the board. But that's still technically a win-win for Newport Harbor on that drive.
Yeah, only gave up 3 points on that one, which is totally fine. No shame in that. And got some confidence within their defense. They just have to have their offense just go out there and build off that. So still got another quarter left, and they still have all 3 timeouts. Game is nowhere near done.
I'm loving the costume game that's out here tonight. Even Ville Park has got some costumes on their side of the field. Marching band featuring the Lorax. There's a minion in the crowd. Drum major is dressed as a bunny. They've got, I think, left or right shark in there. I'm guessing that's right shark because he's got a little bit more effort than left shark did in that Katy Perry halftime show. But another beautiful night here at Davidson Field, regardless of where the game's at for Newport Harbor defensive-wise right now. But Newport Harbor looking to make a massive comeback here tonight against the Spartans. They'll kick away. GK, another short kick. Another fair catch. Ryan Palmer, who's there this time instead of Cade Clark, will take it at about the 25-yard line. And that's when Newport Harbor will start. But Jake Meir, after throwing a pick 6, comes back, takes on a really good try for Newport Harbor, gets into the end zone for the touchdown on a pass to Ty Ditto. And we'll see if he can try to replicate that here on this next drive.
Yeah, I want to see what Newport Harbor can do on this drive. They only gave up 3 points. They had a touchdown on their previous offensive drive. It's time for them to right this ship ASAP. Yeah.
So from the 25-yard line, it's first down for Newport. 4 wide receivers. Takamori at his back. It's a 4-man rush. Muir tosses it down to Takamori. He's chased out of bounds, almost by the collar, but lays off of that tackle right there by Parker White Magic Johns. But it looks like it'll be a yard short of the first down gain.
Yeah, very close to a first down. And you mentioned that was near the collar. Fortunately for Ville Park, it wasn't on the collar, and you can get away with that. That is a legal tackle as long as it's not near the collar.
Jake Muir now, second down. Empties the pocket. Jumps outside, looking for a man, and tries to drop it to Stremick, but it's incomplete, a little bit low. But he had 4 rushers coming right at him, so it'll be third down.
All right, I probably can see Jake Muir keeping it on this play and getting the first down on his own. I imagine that might be the case. Just get the first down. Don't try anything flashy, which could result in a turnover or anything of that sort.
You know, one of the things that we generally haven't seen from Newport Harbor in some time is that famous bone formation with Baranowski and those 2 extra fullbacks behind him in Adam Chani and Cameron Hatfield. They really have not pulled that play out of the book in a minute. 3rd and 1 for Newport. Blitz. Ty Ditto got wide open. And he's through to get the first down and 5 extra yards.
Yeah, Mir saw a blitz, and he was able to get that ball off super quick to get the first down, and that was good pocket recognition by him.
Newport Harbor taking their time a little bit. You're thinking that they were going to have a little bit of more urgency right now, especially with 3 minutes left in third quarter. They still have 12 minutes in the fourth. But Newport Harbor, I would guess, in your opinion, Taryn, would probably try to score a touchdown at least before the end of this.
Exactly. At least try to get to 20 points by any means. They haven't been at 20 points this league.
Mir drops it right to Palmer, and there he goes. Touchdown, Ryan Palmer.
Very good play right there. And that is Palmer's first touchdown, and another big play by him, as that is the second big blow-up play right there. This time going for 60 yards, and that puts him over the century mark in terms of receiving yards.
Ryan Palmer has his 5th touchdown of the season on what was basically a one-on-one coverage by Villa Park, but Palmer beat out his defender and takes it all the way to the house for a 50-yard plus gain. And Newport looks like they're going to go for 2 to make it 14 on the board. We talked about it before. They need to at least go for 2 twice if they want to bring it to close to a tie here. It'll be Mir, Takamori at his right, and a timeout called by Villa Park. The coach, Sana Ansich, did not like what he saw on that 2-point lineup. We'll see if they try to change something up here. So going back to the point where these two teams have been even, we talked about the points per game, we talked about the yards per game. When they both played San Juan Hills, they were outscored in the first quarter, a combined 52 points. Villa Park giving up 21 points to the Stallions, Newport Harbor giving up 31 points to the Stallions. It is another point for the Stallions to say, hey, look, we're a really good team, and that's for the Stallions. But again, Villa Park, Newport Harbor, kind of same in those regards, but it seems like Villa Park has been kind of controlling this game for the most part. But Newport Harbor starting to get things a little bit going now here in the third quarter.
Yeah, they're having fun. They're playing loose, relaxed, and free, and that's what you got to do. I think that's kind of been the key missing element for Newport Harbor. They're just playing too tight and too conservative. So now having a little fun out there. They're letting it rip.
For 2, Mir off his back foot, and he's got Palmer. The ball was knocked out just at the end. He did not make a football move, so it is incomplete and leaves 12 points up on the board for Newport Harbor as they're now down by 20 points, but it's still pretty manageable with the 3-possession game.
Yeah, kind of reminded you of the touchdown catches from the Packers-Steelers game as well as the 2-point conversions. I know you were probably watching it, but yeah, you got to have a football move while catching it. Unfortunately, that was not the case as that ball was just knocked out. Yeah, I don't know. He kind of took 2 steps. Looking back on the replay.
Question is, was it still moving when he was bringing the ball down?
Yeah, that's another big thing as well. Yeah, it looks like that ball was moving.
It looks like it was moving right there, so yeah.
Yeah, he needed to firmly grasp it. Then it probably would have been a successful 2-point try.
Speaking of firmly grasp it, I don't see any Patrick costumes out here. I'm a little disappointed by that.
A+ for you on getting that reference.
The real question is mayonnaise an instrument?
This is true. For someone who might be allergic, probably.
So Villa Park gets a kickoff. Not much there. Or Lovey Clark. Very short gain, right about the 21-yard line. So Newport needing to get at least 3 more stops against Villa Park. That quick touchdown, though, leaves them with a lot of open time to try to get the ball back as quickly as possible and try to score again. And I imagine that's what they want to do here if they want to make a 20-point comeback from behind.
Yeah, and for Villa Park, for them, they're going to want to try to bleed this clock out. So expect quite a bit of runs from them. Don't expect them to throw the ball too much unless it's like a situation where they're behind the sticks or something of that sort, and they just want to like do a check down.
So Vincenzo Legata will take it himself. Brought down by Baranowski, who has wholeheartedly eclipsed 100 tackles on the season. What a season it's been for the senior committed to USD.
Absolutely, one of the top tacklers in Orange County. He has just been one of the anchors for this Newport Harbor defense, and I applaud him for everything he's done defensively. I know it hasn't been easy, but Baranowski has been absolutely amazing.
Not to miscredit his plays on offense as well, with how many touchdowns he's had this season. 4 touchdowns this year as the strong fullback. But 2nd down and 4. Hollins reaches through the line, gets a gain past the sticks and a little bit more. Villa Park will convert.
Yep, fresh set of downs, and they'll keep the clock rolling as this quarter will look to try to get to a close end. And yep, there you go, winding the clock.
Newport Harbor will likely have one more chance at least with the time running down here in the 3rd quarter to at least try to get the ball back. Maybe go very quickly down the field, but that would be the best case scenario if that were to happen. Not a terrible case scenario if they end up trying to go 20 points in the 4th quarter, but we'll see what the book will tell us. Another handoff to Collins. He's through past 5 yards on the carry already, and a 7-yard gain. Again, Collins just rolling over the Sailors' rush defense.
We have a Sailor down. That's Jake Meyer.
Jake Meyer, who was considered one of the backup offensive linemen, has been playing mostly on defense this year. 30 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. Also kind of that big run stopper for Newport Harbor, so this would be a big deal if he goes out of the game. We'll give him a bit of a break to kind of get rested and get back into action. Across the rest of the Bravo League, still a lot of good games. Mission Viejo Losal, we talked about. CDM looking pretty close still with Yorba Linda. Tesoro playing against San Juan Hills in the Battle of the Bell tonight, but it seems like San Juan Hills is kind of running away with it for the moment in that game. You see on the replay here real quick where that play ended up, and it looks like Meyer was kind of rolled over by Collins there. So here's a big stat line for Villa Park this season. Anytime they've scored more than 24 points this year, they've won every single game. Anything less than that, 23 and under, pretty much have lost every single game. So they are above 24 points, but this would be a massive comeback for Newport Harbor. Jacob Myers coming off the field, grasping onto that left shoulder. So that is not a good sign for Newport Harbor.
Yeah, they really can't afford to lose too many of their run stoppers or big-time defensive players. You mentioned Bravo League scores. Corona Del Mar, Yorba Linda is 21-14 in favor of the Sea Kings. CDM has it on the Yorba Linda 8-yard line, or Yorba Linda has it on the CDM 8-yard line. So this is going to be quite interesting for Yorba Linda, especially with CDM playing kind of a fast tempo.
Into injury timeout, minute 53, the clock will roll. 2nd down and 3 yards for Yorba Linda to go convert. It's a deep shot and almost there to get a pickoff, and it looks like there will be offensive PI as well with Lucarito on the play.
Yeah, that was an overthrown ball, and kind of got to wonder what you're going to do with that penalty. I imagine Burns is going to accept it to push Villa Park back.
You can see they're holding onto that left shoulder over the top, holding those arms down. Very clear call for the refs.
And I think that was the case of the receiver playing some defense. which would have been big because I think it would have been better for Villa Park to get PI as opposed to get picked off and have Newport Harbor have the ball.
Well, this is a pretty good situation regardless, even though they don't force a turnover. But because of the offensive PI, it backs up Villa Park.
Like 15 yards.
Far, yeah. It's 2nd and 18 now for Villa Park. So Newport Harbor could have a chance to try to get the ball back before the end of the 3rd quarter. So it is Vincenzo Legata at quarterback. He's mostly run it. He takes it on the Wildcat, pulls it, and he's running upfield, past the sticks and more before being pushed out by Ethan Ambet. So they pretty much just get all the yardage back.
And then some.
So first down for Villa Park, and again, we saw the loss of Jacob Meyer. Another tough run by Villa Park gives them the first down and more, and Villa Park will take a little bit back in control of this game.
Looks like that was a gain of 38 on that play, and that was the biggest run for Legata this time around, this game.
Vincenzo Legata stays at quarterback. First down from the 30-yard line. Takes himself. QB draw. Another big gain from the quarterback. The senior diving forward. Another first down for Villa Park. And again, if Villa Park scores right here, this would pretty much put this game away for the way that Newport has been able to kind of put drives on together. And you don't want that if you're the Sailors.
Yeah, this is where you really miss Meyer and his run stoppage, and this is just a tough spot for Newport Harbor, especially since Villa Park is just controlling all the momentum so far.
Well, Jacob Meyer gets checked on the sidelines by the athletic trainers. Right now, 2 first down conversions in a row from Villa Park. First down and 20. Or first down from the 20-yard line. It's still Vincenzo Legata. He pulls it once again, digging through a sea of Sailors before being touched by Adam Chani and then brought down to the ground, a gain of about 5.
Yeah, Villa Park is going full run heavy when it comes to this just because you got to bleed the clock out, got to get out of here as injury-free as possible in case you do make the postseason.
So it looks like they're going to just let the clock roll down. And here we go to the 4th quarter. Villa Park will have the ball from the 16-yard line on the other side of the field here. Newport Harbor, 12 points. They've scored 2 touchdowns in this second half. But Villa Park is controlling the game right now in their hands, trying to get to 500. We'll take a break here on TAR TV Sports. Villa Park 32, Newport Harbor 12.
On the helmets since 1977, freedom is not free.
It's the 4th quarter, and we're into spooky times now with Newport Harbor's season in the balance. Down by 20 points. Villa Park has the ball at the 16-yard line of the Sailors, and Newport Harbor needing a stop right here, back here on TAR TV Sports. Justin Lee alongside Sharon Rodriguez. Vincenzo Legata, who's been in there this entire drive, takes the ball, and just before he could get to the end zone, he's brought down by Owen Baldakowski.
Yeah, he is just on a tear right now when it comes to running the ball. There's just no stopping him. He is a runaway train.
So Villa Park will operate from the 3-yard line, looking to put this game out of the way here tonight on TAR TV Sports. Again, you see the run, big open hole set up by the O-line, and that has just been the big issue for Newport Harbor this entire season, unable to stop the run for much to the debacle of many here at Davidson Field. Got under center, will plow forward. Push, the pile still moving forward. And it's a touchdown for Villa Park. It was initially stopped, but the Spartans have put 6 up on the board to keep this game back to a 4-possession effort.
Yeah, you mentioned that stopping the run has been an issue for Newport Harbor this season. It's been an issue for the past few years. I hate to have to bring that up, but honestly, it's the truth. You saw it a few games last year against St. Paul and whatnot, as well as the likes of Trabuco Hills 2 years ago. Just Newport Harbor, that is going to need to be their biggest priority. Stopping the run, just hit that sled machine every day, no matter what it takes.
And Coach Burns wanted a penalty flag there for having the quarterback be pushed from behind into the end zone, but he won't get the call there. And Villa Park once again going into the bag of tricks. And now they go right back to that same formation. So Villa Park just playing a book of mystery here. EAT is good. 39-12, Villa Park increases it even more. Newport Harbor, just another tough game here at Davidson Field. Look, the caveat here, though, is that the way that the CIF is kind of set up, though, the Sailors still technically have a chance of making it to the playoffs, even if they take a loss here.
Yeah, it's definitely doable. It's just that it's going to be a little bit of a long shot. I mean, for Newport Harbor, a lot's going to need to go their way. I mean, a lot of their league foes, or their non-league foes, are going to need to start to win, and they're also going to need to see some results that benefit them. Like, they're going to need to see Colony win. They're going to need to see Cajon win, Lancaster, Marietta Mesa, and El Medina, who was up on Cypress last I checked. They're up fairly big.
Kickoff. Dalton Long. Kick was fair caught, but it's out of bounds as Palmer steps out. Smart play there, but this could have been a bad one if he caught it at the 23-yard line. He would have been pretty much taking it there, but instead up to about the 30-yard line here.
So as we're getting the laundry on the field sorted out, Los Alamitos is up 42-34 on Mission Viejo. This is a big development here just because it's been a minute since Mission Viejo's dropped a league contest, and Los Alamitos is would really like to avenge its loss from last week. And my colleague and the birthday boy, Mo Panios, actually has a little bit of a wager. Well, so does Kevin Dull. If Los Alamitos wins, then Kevin Dull is going to get a Los Alamitos tattoo, and then Los Alamitos will, or Mo will actually dye his hair red and have a little bit of a mohawk.
Oh boy, so there's a lot on the table there.
Oh no.
Bad snap, Mir picks it up, able to evade tacklers, and will take it himself before sliding for a gain of about 7, so that could have been another bad play. But Newport has been saved by a lot of crazy plays in this game.
Yeah, I think it's a little based on spread out broken coverage defensively, and Jake Mir sees the open gap and he just takes off with it. That's what we call making lemons out of lemonade, turning nothing into something.
So just like the marching band who have the Energizer Bunny, the Sailors need the Energizer here. Second down, deep shot from Mir. Caught! And a little bit of extra yardage, too.
Amazing play right there. That is just a great play from Mir, finding Ty Ditto on that play. Yeah.
A massive play. 34-yard play to Ty Ditto, and he will get some extra yardage with the flag there, too.
That's what Newport Harbor needs. They just got to have fun. Just make this respectable as possible. It doesn't matter what the score is. Just have some fun, because this could be your last game at Davidson Field. Just let it rip and just make some big plays.
Mir checks it down to Takamori, trying to stiff arm one. A little bit of help from the backside with Burns there. Takamori gets a gain of about 2, or 1 yard, excuse me.
Yeah, probably just 1 yard on that play. I think some were hoping for a late hit call or an unnecessary roughness call, but I think if he didn't go helmet to helmet, that here's the replay. One defender trying to bring him down.
Close, yeah.
Close. Had he not gone up a little, that would have been helmet to helmet, and that would have drawn a flag. Yeah.
Very close targeting play there, potentially, but 2nd down and 9 for the Sailors. Mir has to evade out of the pocket, backing up, and he'll throw it out of bounds. There is a flag on the other side at about the 20-yard line, though, too.
Could be holding on either Villa Park or Newport Harbor.
It might be on Ethan Hendrick, a.k.a. Uno, who is working on Takamori on the other side there. It is a holding call against Uno.
That's a big little bailout right there for Newport Harbor, because now it should give them the first down, even though it should be like, 10 yards.
Well, they do get the first down, since they were 9 yards away from the stick, so it gives them that first down by about 1 yard, so it'll be first down from the 16-yard line. The Sailors trying to put up 3 touchdowns on the board. We haven't seen them do that since the Colony game. And Mir brings it down, and tripped up by the Green Monster is Ryan Palmer, just a few yards away from the end zone.
Yeah, but great catch by him. Jake Mir is just really putting Newport Harbor in a great situation, putting everything on the dot, and he's rolling out. He's really moving himself and not standing in the pocket.
Newport Harbor bringing out the heavy package. They've got Adam Chani, Bernowski, and Yamakawa. Hello, Bone formation. It's been a minute. And just before that, a timeout from Villa Park. They got scared there just for the second. A little bit of break in the action here. And Newport Harbor will try to keep their playoff hopes alive. Try to add as many points as possible before the clock strikes 0. Villa Park, if things go their way, back to 500. Pretty much will be sitting right around, I want to say, the Division 5, Division 4 playoffs with the at-large bid there. But again, this is also this is going to be kind of a trade-off once we get to the end of the season. But let's take a look at some of the highlights from throughout this game. There have been a lot of big lightning strikes from both sides here, and as of late from Newport Harbor as well. Pretty much been Collins. You see, the pick 6, Jake Mir starting to turn it up a little bit and getting back to that usual form we saw early on in the season, Darren.
Yeah, I think Jake Mir, I don't want to say this to ruffle any feathers, but I think Jake Mir was the answer. Having that veteran presence and leadership is just the big key for any team.
It's a bone formation play. Trying to get through, nothing there. Brought down right before the end zone, 1 yard away. Mir rallying his guys to go quickly as they set up one more time. This is Newport Harbor's version of the tush push. Gives it to Baranowski. to give him a touchdown in his senior season and what could be one of the final touchdown plays for number 19.
That right there was probably the Popeye plunge.
I like that name, over bone formation. Newport Harbor put some points up on the board. Maybe trying to go for 2, but Coach Burns is leaving the offense up on there on the field.
Well, the big thing is that Newport Harbor has now scored 18 points, which is the most it's scored in a league game. Now let's see if they can get to 20 points, because either way, it'll be the first time they've scored 20 points since they wound up beating Colony by a massive lump sum.
So they're going to try to bring the deficit down to 19 points with this 2-point conversion play. You're stepping backwards a little bit more, and enough time to find Ryan Palmer in the end zone for the 2 points.
And just like that, Newport Harbor has surpassed 20 points, which is great. Again, Newport Harbor's now having fun. They're just playing loose, relaxed, and free. They're playing their brand of tar ball. I don't think that they were doing that early on in this game, and that was kind of the key right there.
Well, they most likely have to go for an onside kick here by all means with 8 minutes and 26 seconds left in the game. So we'll see what Uncle Daniel Rico does. Does he go to the trick or the treat bag here?
Mission Viejo also just scored, so now they are within 1. Not going to go for 2 on that post touchdown. So interesting that they went for 2, didn't get it on their first touchdown, but they haven't gone for 2 ever since.
Villa Park has their hands team out there with 6 men at the 50-yard line. Rico is back like he's going to kick it off deep. There goes the onside kick, scooped up by Villa Park. They will have reception. Sean Burns grabbed it out of the air. And they'll have it from about the 47-yard line of Newport Harbor. So Villa Park will just try to run down the clock here. That was a pretty nice onside kick, but even better hands from Sean Sugar Burns.
Yeah, he was just prepared for that onside kick, and he got Villa Park into Newport Harbor territory. Normally, when you see an onside kick, that goes pretty much on the borderline of midfield to early in their territory, as looks like the play stops.
Whitecap comes from behind, blows a whistle before the play goes off. Not sure if they're trying to reset the clock or something. So we'll try it again. First down for Villa Park. And Jacob Fichinall is back out there at the quarterback spot. Had himself a pretty good night for the freshman quarterback as he gives it to Mason Culp, the musician. He gets up there for a few yards.
I think that's his first carry of the night, but good to see Villa Park mixing it up. Probably going to give Knuckles a little bit of a rest there, just so you don't lose him for the postseason if they make it.
Yeah, the musician Mason Culp looking at his eyes set on going to the Navy or West Point or the Air Force, or trying to go to the Armed Forces. Maybe potentially playing football, but who knows what will happen up until that point. Speaking of Armed Forces, Los Alamitos has a guy who might be going to one of those academies.
Strong leg Lenny Ibarra.
Another handoff to Mason Culp, and brought down right before he could get through far. Trevor Glenn, a tackle for loss of a yard.
Very good read on that run right there, as that was indeed a loss of a yard right there. We have not seen a loss of a yard. I think that might be the first. Oh no, it's the second loss for a yard on a run. So good on Glenn for that.
So 3rd down and 6. Newport Harbor looking for a stop, try to get the ball back, potentially put up 8 more points on the board to bring it to an 11-point possession game, excuse me. 6 yards to get to the first down and keep this game out of reach for Newport Harbor. It is a handoff, and he will be met by the Sailors in the backfield as Stremick gets back there, and they do draw fourth down on Yazin Salamahe, a.k.a. Yaz.
The Yasmanian Yevel.
Did you just come up with that?
Yes.
That's a great one. Maybe he'll stick with that one. We'll see. Next year. So fourth down and 7. Villa Park is leaving the offense on the field.
Maybe to draw Newport Harbor off sides, because this is kind of a little bit of no man's land.
They pulled out the trick bag tonight. Who knows what they'll draw here? It is a complete mystery. And those meddling kids trying to pull Newport Harbor off sides. And there's a timeout called.
Probably just to also drain the clock as well.
So 5 minutes and 42 seconds. Still pretty manageable for 2 possessions, because if Newport Harbor can score here, they could try to get through with an onside kick and do a little bit more, but still a pretty tough task to try to reach back down 19 points. So they would need 2 touchdowns, 2-point conversions, and at least a field goal to bring it back to a tie. So anybody who's still watching with us, don't lose hope. There's still plenty of time here in this game for anything to happen. We've seen crazier miracles in life. And I haven't had children yet, so we can't even talk about that miracle.
Put these teams on the field. Thank you for what you do. Put our student athletes on the field. Here's to the boosters.
Last minute recognition for all the Sailor faithful who really support the Sailors team year in, year out, whether it's been a good season, bad season, or mid-season. We love to see it in high school football when it comes to family support and the fans as well. Villa Park will punt it away.
They try to milk some more clock off. This one is into the end zone.
Almost curved around at the 1-yard line, but it goes into the end zone for a touchback. So Newport Harbor will start from the 20-yard line, and they'll have to go down the field fast. But Jake Meir, who has been very solid in the second half, minus the pick 6, has pretty much bounced back with some purpose. I just have one final question, though, and this one goes in and out, but it looks like one of your workers is here on the field tonight. I'm not sure why he's here, but if anyone's wondering why the griller isn't going, it's because your guy is here at Davidson Field tonight.
Yep. I know who that is.
You think he'll take my order?
Yeah.
I'll take a cheeseburger with whole grilled onions. What do you want, Turn?
I'll have a cheeseburger with animal-style fries and a chocolate shake.
But Jake Meir on first down, throws down. It is caught. Good catch there with one-on-one coverage. A little bit of extra as Jackson Stremick gets a very good catch there for 6 yards to make it second down. We'll see if Newport Harbor would kind of turn into a hurry-up offense, but again, another pretty solid throw by Jake Meir. Draped all over him was Sean Burns working on Stremick, and he put that in a good spot for him to make a catch. Second down as Meir will try to throw it down the field for Stremick. It is incomplete off the back of Lovey Clark. Newport Harbor potentially might have wanted a flag there because he wasn't playing the ball, but it is incomplete regardless. And excuse me, it was Ty Ditto on the target.
Yeah, that was actually close to being a taunting penalty, or which would have been a personal foul. Thankfully, he looked toward the crowd and not toward the player, because had he done that, that would have drawn the flag.
So third down and 3. Newport Harbor trying to convert and keep this game live. Jake Meir with a little bit of pressure, just floats it up in the air. looking for 3 receivers were in the vicinity. Ditto, Palmer, and Takamori in the mix, but it is incomplete. No one could get to it.
By the way, that previous incompletion actually snapped a streak of 6 straight completions. So this is 4-down territory for Newport Harbor. They should not even have any plans of punting the ball away. I'd go with a short slant pass just to get the first down.
We've got Wilson, Palmer, Stremick, Ditto up high. Takamori at the running back spot for Jake Muir. Villa Park should most likely try to go for a blitz here.
I try to draw him off sides, though.
Checks out of the play, and there's a timeout from Newport.
Sailors.
So this was an interesting matchup between the Spartans and Newport Harbor. Newport Harbor, we talked about the all-purpose yards in this game, 316 yards per game this season, but Villa Park really hasn't managed to get more than Newport Harbor, 240 yards all-purpose for them this season. It could be a little bit more, but they haven't put in 2 game stats for Max Prep, so there's a little bit of some coverage there missing, but Villa Park looking like a much different team in this game tonight. And again, that mentality of nothing left to lose really giving them life in this game against the Sailors tonight. 4th down and 3, the last-ditch effort for the Sailors to keep the game alive. It is a 5-man blitz, and it is caught! Past midfield, Ditto on the reception, and he's up inside the 35-yard line of Villa Park.
Yep, that was a massive play right there. Well put by Jake Muir, and like I said, it was a short pass up the middle, and he got quite a bit and then some.
Yeah, what a throw by Jake Muir to put that right in the best spot for his receiver to go grab it. So the Sailors keep the game alive. 1st down and 10. Muir's looking for the end zone. There was a contact from behind, no flag, and Wyatt Wilson cannot believe what he's seeing.
We'll have to look on the replay. I mean, was it enough to draw the penalty? It all depends. Fortunately for Newport Harbor, not quite.
Cooper Nagelli was on coverage there, including Devin Dope Dev Brown at that cornerback spot. So it's 2nd down and 10 on what might have been a pass interference call on an end zone shot. We'll see if Jake Muir tries to go for it again. He probably has to, regardless of how much time is on the clock. 5-man blitz, looking for Ty Ditto. He goes to the ground.
There it is.
And this time it draws a flag.
Yeah, I don't really agree for what the defender did on that play. I think he should have just let it be. I don't think the ball was anywhere near catchable.
It was Devin Brown on coverage once again. This time it was on Ty Ditto. And he didn't look back at the ball at all, so Ty Ditto gets the benefit of the doubt on that play.
Yeah, so it'll be a 15-yard penalty. Definitely will bring Newport Harbor closer. If that were inside the 30, that would have been half the distance to the goal.
So Dope Dev carpets Ty Ditto. That's a 1st down for Newport Harbor. And 4 minutes and 7 seconds left on the clock in this game for Newport to try to eke out their first win in Bravo League play. How much do they want it? Not a big blitz package there for Villa Park. It's a check down to Takamori. He will go up for 9 yards. They got to go quick if they want to keep time on their side. 2nd down and about a yard. Ray Huizar trying to get the play up on the field as fast as possible. The 2nd down and 3. They didn't really give him a lot of yardage on that play, so it was a gain of 7 instead. So Muir looking for the end zone shot. And there is a lot of contact in the end zone as Mir throws it to the backside. Stramick is right there. Looked like he dragged Sean Byrne to the ground, so we'll see what the penalty is.
Should be an automatic first down, but again, since it's within the 30, instead of 15 yards, it's going to be half the distance to the goal. So I imagine Newport Harbor will have it on the 6.
Look, I'm not a big fan. This is an interesting thing that Villa Park is kind of doing right now, is really putting a lot of contact, not playing the ball, but pretty much just playing the receiver instead.
Maybe they're forcing Newport Harbor to score, and then they're going to try to bleed out the clock themselves and then force Newport Harbor to take its timeout. So
that's what it seems like they're doing here. So first down and goal, 5 yards away. Mir off his back foot, just laying it up for anybody. Takamori in the vicinity. It is an incomplete pass. Took off a few seconds on the clock, 3:27. And it would be second down.
Don't look now, but Yorba Linda Corona Del Mar is tied 28-28 with 1:02 remaining as Vaughn Sharp just ran in for a 2-yard touchdown. CDM with the ball with 1 minute to spare. Could be scary hours because Radionet has a lot of weapons. And yes, I'm calling both games.
We love it here. Mir backing up, and he's got Ty Ditto reaching into the end zone, touchdown for his second trip of this evening.
Well, would you look at that? Newport Harbor, again, they're just letting the game come to themselves. They're trying to make it respectable. And who knows, maybe the committee will actually give Newport Harbor some points on that in terms of like maybe allowing them to get themselves into the big dance.
So Newport Harbor has to go for 2. No choice left on the table. They're going to have to go for 2 if they score again, miraculously. But I'm guessing if they can get the ball back after this point after attempt, they're going to try to go for a field goal and much more. But the game on the line here for the Sailors. You're looking for his first option, didn't find it, rolls out to his left, stays there, keeping it alive, and tosses it out of play. It is incomplete, and now that puts the game almost to a 2-touchdown possession instead of a touchdown and a field goal.
So yeah, Newport Harbor would have to recover the onside kick, and the interesting thing is that they could probably kick the extra point, but then they'd have to recover the onside kick again, or they'd have to force Villa Park to go 3 and out. It's going to really depend on what happens on this onside kick. I mean, there is a chance for Newport Harbor, but honestly, it's going to get dicey.
So Newport Harbor trying to creep up behind the Villa Park Spartans, who have been running away from it since the second half. 32 unanswered points. Newport Harbor has scored 26 in this second half, trying to pull off a miracle here at Davidson Field, and something they haven't done ever to our knowledge. Onside kick is recovered by Jaden Poth, and Villa Park will now just trying to run the ball to run the clock out.
Oh, Newport Harbor has 2 timeouts left, so they're going to have to probably burn all their timeouts pretty much on this Villa Park drive. Or they can go down the risk route. They could force a fumble, and if that would be the case, then Newport Harbor would have so much momentum.
So we'll see what Coach Dusan Ansich draws up here. Will be Vincenzo Lagana at the quarterback spot to take it here, and they'll probably try to run an option here. Lagana takes it, trying to turn the corner, bounces outside, makes one miss, makes another, and he will get the first down.
That took off quite a bit of clock as well, so I imagine Newport Harbor will try to use its timeouts.
So Villa Park trying to run down the clock. And again, Legata has been
12 yards, it looks like.
the unsung hero so far here for Villa Park with the amount of big runs that he's had tonight. We'll see what they do here on first down. If they get another one, it's pretty much out of the reach of Newport Harbor at this point. Gonna bring down the clock as fast as possible and paying attention to the backside ref. It is a handoff and another wide open hole for Collins. It's another first down and more, and that might as well just do it for Newport Harbor.
Yeah, another big run, and they brought back the big back in Collins. And it's just another big backbreaker play for the Sailors. Another 12 yards on that play.
Newport Harbor looking for a Twix bar because they need a pause and a break, but they won't get it as Villa Park will reach under 2 minutes, pretty much just run down the clock the rest of the way to a victory to make them 500 to end the regular season. Collins nearly fumbled on that snap, dragged down
See, that's Culp on that run.
by Baranowski. It was Culp, excuse me. And there's a timeout from Newport Harbor.
Yeah, and on another note, Yorba Linda and CDM are going into overtime.
Wow. What a game to determine who's going to be the Bravo League champion.
Will CDM be sharing the league title, or will they be winning it outright? Either way, I could see the Sea Kings in Division 1, or Division 2, sorry.
So 1 minute and 47 seconds for Newport Harbor on the day before Halloween. Darren, you dressed up on Sunset Rewind. Are you going to dress up in that same costume?
Yes, absolutely. I will dress up as that Cam Newton-esque person.
Okay.
Maybe not without the clock. Just have the purple hat and the nice little funky suit.
There we go. That's a good one. I will be waxing on and waxing off. I understand that reference. It's a handoff. It is right there at the line to gain, and that will put the capper on this game.
That was Culp on the run, the culprit, as it's 5, and that'll pretty much do it. So all Villa Park needs is a few more kneel downs, and that will pretty much do it.
Villa Park will come in and finish off 4-5. Will be 5-5 on the year. Newport Harbor winless in the Bravo League. This is a tough one to take, but still have a chance to bring the playoffs here to Davidson Field potentially. But we'll see what happens in the weeks to come. A quick handoff. Arnowski with one more final tackle.
Oh, no. 56 was getting a little much into it. A little bit of frustration on Newport Harbor. Just can't have the frustration. Looks like, what is that? There's
Jacker
balloons
Danoon.
on the field. Oh, and there's number 17. That is Polk getting rid of the balloons. Thank you.
The balloons don't want the game to end.
Thank you, Liam Polk, a.k.a. the Hokey Polky, for getting rid of those balloons.
Turn yourself around. And here's the victory formation from Villa Park. It is a treat tonight for Villa Park, a trick for Newport Harbor. Newport Harbor trying to eke out a final win in the Bravo League, but could not pull it off tonight. Losing 26-39, the final score. Villa Park finishing off strong, 500 on the season. This was a heck of a effort from Newport Harbor in the end, but just not enough time on the clock, as many will say.
Yeah, I think Newport Harbor kind of just did not play loose, relaxed, and free to start the game, and I think that's kind of what bit them in the butt, just because Villa Park came in needing to, I mean, they're not guaranteed a spot in the playoffs, but they just wanted to have fun and see what they could do in their final league game, and now they're 500. Newport Harbor is just going to have to wait until Selection Sunday to see if their name will be called in terms of them going to the playoffs or not. But overall, I think this Newport Harbor team performed well. Maybe the best game in terms of league. Made it interesting, but unfortunately, they just could not close the gap.
And here was the big thing tonight. Jake Muir actually looked like he did in the beginning of the season. But here's the question now. If Newport Harbor does make it into the playoffs, what can they take from this game to those playoffs if they do make it in? What can we expect from a Newport team that did look pretty good in that second half?
Well, you just got to keep rolling with the hot hand. Keep rolling with the players that helped you get to this point. As I thought Jake Muir, I think he's back to his Jake Muir self. And honestly, I think he should be the one they roll with. Nothing against Jordan Spigarelli, but honestly, I think Jake Muir, this is his last year at Newport Harbor. He helped build his legacy at Newport Harbor last year, taking over for Bodie Stefano. I think it would be fitting for him to finish off this year for Newport Harbor. Then they can look forward to Jordan Spigarelli if need be.
We'll take a break here on Tar TV Sports, but don't go too far away. We still have some interviews before we finish off and let you folks get on to your Halloween festivities. So we'll be back here on Tar TV Sports in just a few. Welcome back here on Tar TV Sports. Before we let you all go to your Halloween festivities, we have Ivania Gonzalez down on the sidelines to get some final words on this season. Ivania, take it down to you.
Thank you, guys. I'm here with Ryan Palmer after tonight's game. Ryan, can you take us through the touchdown of tonight?
I saw the defender was in press coverage, and I just tried to win on my route, and my quarterback did a great job of finding me and throwing me for the open touchdown. So credit to my quarterback.
Even with the final score, you and the team keep pushing until the end. How do you stay locked in out there?
Say again?
How do you stay locked out there?
I'm sorry, one more time.
How do you stay locked in out there?
We just got to keep fighting. Obviously not the result we wanted, but we rallied together. I think we did a great job of pulling through and just playing football to the final whistle. So I'm really proud of our team and the way we finished today.
That's amazing. So for the next season, what are your goals that you are looking moving forward?
I think just winning more games next year. Obviously, not the year we wanted, but I think we rally, we play hard every game, and just preparing well during the week, going into the game, and just finishing out the season strong is very important. So I think that's what we'll try to do going into next year for sure.
Thank you so much. That's great. Thank you.
It's good.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, guys.
And with Ryan Palmer, with what he had to say with coming into next season, like we talked about in the pre-show, we talked about the fact that many of the core wide receivers are juniors. You got Spigarelli coming back. You still have a pretty solid defense coming back next season. There's still a lot to take away from this year that we could see next year.
Absolutely, and I think this future is still looking bright for Newport Harbor again. Barring anything drastic, most of the offense will be back. My only big concern is maybe the offensive line. That is kind of going to be the key, just because, as a good friend of mine would say, no line, no shine, and Newport Harbor needs that offensive line to give Jordan Spigarelli that time in the pocket. So I think for Newport Harbor, it's going to be, if there's no postseason this year, I can expect them to work really hard, just make sure they just hit the ground running, and make sure they don't get in a situation like this where they have to either win out and try to sneak away and hope that the committee puts them in the playoffs, because everything is going to be a little bit different. The offense will probably be the same. Defense might have some new faces. Newport Harbor is probably going to be in a new league based on the projections. So overall, it's going to be some interesting things next year for the Sailors.
And we'll see what happens to the Sailors once it hits November. But once again, for Tar TV Sports, Justin Lee alongside Taryn Rodriguez, it has been a great season. Be sure to check our broadcast schedule by following Tar TV Sports on Instagram for updates. We'll see you next year for 2026. For all of us here at Tar TV Sports, we thank you for being with us here tonight for this presentation of Newport Harbor Sailors versus the Villa Park Spartans. We will see you very soon. And look, a lot of shout outs for being able to put this broadcast together. Our Caden Krause, James Lee, John Hoyce, what they do day in and day out to bring these broadcasts live to you, the fans, the family members who have players down there on the field. This is what we love about this sport and love doing these broadcasts. And as always, Taryn, we love having you here again, bringing your joy, your love for the Sailors team. Obviously, it wasn't the way I think a lot of us wanted to turn out, but again, bringing your energy and joy and your analysis year in and year out has been such a big deal for you, Taryn.
Thank you, Justin. It's been a pleasure working alongside with you for the first time this season and shifting my role from play-by-play to color commentary. Look, I know the Newport Harbor football team record wasn't the most glamorous, and I know fans don't like seeing losing. They're tired of it, and they want to see wins. But we have to be patient with Matt Burns. I think for this team is progressing. This team is getting there. And normally, as the old saying goes, you don't see the results from a head football coach until season 4. That was the case with Peter Lofthouse when he was here. 2018, no playoffs. 2019, they made the CIF Southern Section semifinals. Post-COVID, in his third year, they wound up winning 3 games. They went 3-3, albeit one of them they had to forfeit, but I digress on that. And then the 4th year, Newport Harbor wound up winning CIF. And then 5th year, Newport Harbor won Battle of the Bay, and they finished in the top 3 in the ever-so-tough Sunset League, almost beat Edison, and then they advanced to the playoffs. So Newport Harbor fans, I know it's tough. I know this stings, but honestly, you just got to be patient. There will be better days ahead, and I am looking forward to seeing what this team has in store. They played every team, for the most part, close. They had a lot of great effort in this game, and I think they're heading in the right direction. So I think for Newport, if there is no postseason this year, it's been an honor to call the games with you, Justin. But if there is a postseason, I'm looking forward to it, and I'll be there to cover the game for Sunset Rewind. But thank you to everyone for all of your support. We appreciate it. Thank you to everyone for all the kind words and whatnot. It means a lot.
We will see you soon or in next year in 2026. Happy Halloween. Enjoy the spooky festivities. And as we say for the final time, potentially in 2025, to all of our friends and family at home, good night from Newport Beach.